register. But the first complication is in the registration process. CAPTCHA.
Uh-oh, you got to prove you're not a robot.
Oh, my God.
You got to prove you're not a robot.
I didn't have to. I just checked the check mark, and then that was it.
Because you don't even look like a robot.
Well, you don't. Yeah. Maybe you're already on a white list.
Yeah.
Maybe you're already on the white list over the PDN.
She's on that.
Me, on the other hand,
travel pass clearance.
Yeah. Ray Gibson, not so much. So I had to go through the I hate and it sucks CAPTCHA, and it's the worst ones were the motorcycle, the car.
You got to squint your eyes, right?
And the fire hydrant. It's the fire hydrant where
choose all the photos of the
like
fire hydrant.
From top to bottom is most of the fire hydrant, but at the very bottom, you got 2 more blocks at the very bottom with just the slivers, like the little curvy bottom parts.
Just click on it just in case.
Yeah, well, I know, but I had to do like 4 of those things before it put me, before it allowed me to register.
Yourself, huh? Am I a robot?
I might be. How does that work? Anyway, 6:34 and in the mornings. I finally got it through, and so what you do is you got all the different categories and just participate. Search for radio and the top 2 categories that I'm interested in will come up. When you're done with that, go to guamtime.com. I'm sorry, guamtime.net on the World Wide Web. The reason why I want you to go there is because that's where you can get your tickets to the massive Throwback 2 that is going to be taking place, Club Zoo, July 13th. Now, a couple of notes here on this one is the people are asking, can we get VIP seats? And the answer is yes. Go through Club Zoo. They've got the VIP seats. We are not selling them on their behalf because it's kind of complicated. If you get a VIP seat, it's mostly a reservation with a promise to buy X dollars worth of alcohol while you're there. And so I don't really want to get kind of involved in their business. But at any rate, whether you reserve a VIP seat with them or not, you still have to buy the tickets. So go to guamtime.net and check out the process. They're fairly easy. Ask you a few questions, credit card deals, whatever, and then you get a QR code, and that will get you into the door at what I think is going to be the party of the summer for people of a certain vintage. I didn't say notice. I didn't say age. Certain vintage. And I'll use the vintage word here to describe the amount of partying that was going on. People partying like they have not partied since they were 18, 19 years old at places like the 10-4, at places like the Reef, at places like Lights, at places like Camelot. Yeah, I like that. Throw that one there.
Wow.
Camelot, hey.
Stretch out.
Hey, first time,
Make sure you stretch out,
saw
right?
a local girl kissing another girl was in Camelot. She paid for it, too. It's like $1. Come here. Give me a mouth kiss, lady. Anyway, so those were good times. We're going to try to bring all of that back at Throwback Part 2. Sign up today at guamtime.net on the World Wide Web. If you want to know about where some great entertainment is going to be taking place this weekend, then by all means, they got a great calendar there as well. 6:36 in the morning. Donna D with that first big look at news and headlines right about now. If you're ready for it, let's jump into it. What happened, Donna? What I miss?
21-year-old Ronnie James Tkenko was arrested for 3 burglaries in Malesso. He confessed after being caught on camera removing an air conditioning unit during one of the break-ins. Tkenko admitted to the crimes, explaining he was going through a tough time. And Revenue Tax sent out $2 million in tax refunds this week. The refunds cover returns filed before May 7. Refunds will continue weekly. It may take up to 15 days for recipients to receive their refunds. And cops will be directing traffic at the Route 1 and 10A intersection by Airport Road all day from 7 in the morning until 6 o'clock at night. GPD spokesperson Sergeant Paul Tapao says traffic direction will take place at these times daily until repairs to the traffic light are completed. Motorists are asked to proceed with caution and to obey all instructions by the officers. And those are your local headlines on The Point. Now back to Ray.
So the guy got into the house through the air conditioning hole?
Maybe he was just
that
stealing
little
it.
tiny round hole where the pipe goes through?
No, it's probably like a big
the old school,
wall unit.
I got you. I got you. Yeah.
You
I've
could
seen
fit through there.
I've
right?
seen those kinds of things before. Yeah, it's just
suck it in.
That hollow feeling that you get when you walk in the house. Number one, the air conditioner is not on, and number two, it's on the ground or hanging by the extension cord on the thing, and then pretty soon you start realize that you have actually been hit. I saw that magistrate report, and frankly, it sickened me. I'm going through a hard time, so I'm just going to go and steal some stuff and some snacks and things like that. You know what? That should not be the first reaction when you're going through a tough time. You got family, you got friends, people there that are going to help you out, maybe the church, but automatically stooping to stealing from your neighbors should not be the plan B for young tomorrow men, if you ask me. No, young men, period. Young men, period. But, it's Fanogi. You were raised better than that, boy. And you owe it to your neighbors now to make them whole. 6:38 on the Ray Gibson Show. More lecturing like that on the way. Stay there.
Hey, that party people. It's me, Ray Gibson. Get ready to rewind the clock and groove to the beat to yesteryear. The Throwback Part 2 is back and better than ever, bringing you all the hits that make you feel young again. Join us Saturday, July 13th at Club Zone Nightclub in Tumon as DJ Daryl Izama spins the ultimate throwback playlist. The 70s, 90s, keep you on the dance floor all night long. Plus, we're doing another incredible cash drop and some great throwback t-shirts. Don't miss out on the nostalgia trip of the year. Grab your friends, dress to impress in your retro best, and dance the night away at Throwback Part 2. Doors open at 8:30. See you on the dance floor. Get your tickets now online at guamtime.net. They're $20 plus taxes and fee, but it'll be more at the door, so get it online now. Throwback Part 2, brought to you by the local grindhouse in Barrigada, 76 Circle K, BBG Automotive, and the stations of choice broadcasting. Throwback Part 2. Relive the memories on Saturday, July 13th, 8:30 at Club Zone in Tumon. Be there or be square.
Oh, more me? Is it my turn? Gotcha. So it's 20 away from 7 o'clock in the morning. Ray Gibson Show brought to you by the guys over at Island Cancer Center. Our family treating your family. Fine traffic report now. Okay, so checking in around the Coast 360 area on Route 8. I don't see any traffic there, but maybe that's because everybody has seen the traffic stops that they're doing right now. Apparently, there is some kind of traffic enforcement on Route 8. Not sure in which direction. Maybe I am seeing a little bit of traffic through there right about now, but nothing crazy that's going to slow you down. It certainly doesn't look like amazing dogging out traffic. Marine Corps Drive, let me zoom all the way out and get up to the north end so I can show you on the map if there's anything to worry about. Nothing major up at Anderson Air Force Base, southbound Marine Corps Drive, all the way until you get to the intersection of 1 and 3, looking pretty good. And you will find some traffic on Route 16, mostly on the 16 side, not so much on the Micronesia Mall side, but definitely on the 16 side, and that might be following you around all the way through Route 16. Running clear over by Reventax and Barrigada Heights right now. That's going to change probably in about the next 10 or 15 minutes as we get more and more cars on the road this Friday morning. 8, 10, and 16 looking pretty good. Nothing major on Route 8. Route 4, no cops. Allah! Come on, Tandik, boy, let's go. There's no policeman on this road. We can get to Ganya. We'll go and get some donuts from Merwin early. What do we got here? Nothing major, 8, 10, and 16. 4 and 10 running clear as well. Nothing that's going to slow you down the Tamuning area. Might see a tiny bit of traffic over by the Guam International Airport. Looks like maybe just before you get to the 76 Circle K up there. It looks like there might be a little bit of slower than normal northbound traffic. Down to all the way to Big Navy in Summa, it's running fairly clear there. 6:41, Ray Gibson Show. After this,
KFC's $5 breakfast deals are the best and most affordable ways to start your day. The Colonel's Chicken and Rice Bowl, $5. Chicken fried steak, $5. Sausage, biscuit, and gravy, $5. And they all come with a fresh coffee. KFC $5 breakfast deals are served starting at 6 a.m. daily at your favorite KFC restaurant. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
This summer, don't miss out on a hot opportunity. Save big when you upgrade to Docomo Pacific's Business Unlimited Max. Say goodbye to hefty fees and enjoy free roaming in the U.S., Japan, South Korea, and the Philippines. But that's not all. From now until August 31st, save up to $20 a month on payments. A whopping $600 in overall savings. Plus, receive $150 towards mobile accessories. Some conditions apply. Call 688-2677 to upgrade and maximize your benefits this summer.
You sound so responsible and authoritative when you say maximize. I'm going to maximize this Wendy's commercial because it might get hot today. They say mostly sunny in the forecast. And if you do need to cool off, do it with a Wendy's Triple Berry Frosty. It's the latest and greatest sweet summer treat, combining the fresh fruit flavors of strawberries, blackberries, and raspberries. And then they're all frosted up together. Transport your senses to a cool summer vacay memory from back in the day with a smooth and creamy treat. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's Triple Berry Frosty.
Rediscover talk radio here. Your FM News Talk Superstation. This is The Point.
Anywhere near Pipeline work, says Big Sister Shelley. Matt Galenda is online. Gina Marie Tenorio, call what you saying. I hope people don't forget to find the construction manager for the rebuilding of Simon Sanchez High School just because the energy is being put into finding a temporary solution for those students. Both fronts need to be aggressively worked on. Don't disagree with that. I saw the beginning of a Chris Barnett story time yesterday, but it got to like it went from one reel and then it just started like spinning around.
Yeah,
looping. It was doing this thing on the thing while it was waiting for the next one. So I never did get around,
darn it,
to the part where Chris was deciding whether or not he liked the existing idea, which is to take some, I guess, land trust land or something in the area and get that ready for the students, and then they can be closer to their actual home place, because Jigo is so far away from Tumon. Or the other upside of moving into the Tumon Mall, that for all intents and purposes, it's already built. It's already built. So I don't know what else he was able to add to that. And I will admit to having a bias for the Tumon Mall, because I know some of the people that are involved in that. You might say that they're partners, if you will, to a degree. And so I'm kind of excited to see something happen with that. But I'll throw this out here, if it has not been up for consideration, is I don't know, but we have typhoons on Guam, yeah? And that Tumon Mall looks pretty sturdy. Looks pretty sturdy.
It's solid.
It looks sturdier than let's take this dirt and we'll put some mobile homes on them, and that will be our classrooms.
Strap them down.
These temporary facilities
to make them look nice.
Yeah. But they'll blow away in the typhoon, and they'll be exposed to the termites.
We'll buy more.
Yeah, I guess.
More money.
I don't know. I don't know if that's among the considerations that Chris Barnett was thinking about. But it is kind of an interesting conversation, if you will, that Gina brings up. Well, now that you're talking about this, don't forget that you still got to rebuild the original campus. But Ken Augustin is there. Gina Marie, Rico Blancaflor online. You know this already. Mark Cruz doing his thing. Rico Blancaflor saying Camelot, yes. Gina says vote Michael Nicholas. Bring it back, right? Gina Marie Tenorio calls, says there's jobs everywhere. Go get a job. Happy Wet Friday from Iwakuni, Japan, says Linda Chargaloff Kostelny. Enjoy the weekend and stay safe. Iwakuni, Japan, enjoy your 160 almost 161 yen to the dollar exchange rate while you're in there. You must be walking around like you own the place. I would be. Chris Frank is online. Auntie Bennett wants you to vote for change. Republicans all the way except Fisher. There's Rob Greeno. I got Zoe Kitchetu, half a day, too. Okay, everybody else. So that's where we go. I'm looking at the meme machine because I wanted to see if I sent myself any of the memes related to the debate today. I think I did. It's probably right after this one. I love this meme. Love this meme. It's this story. Tell me what you smiling about today. And the guy comes back and says, my girl cheated on me with a married man. And the guy's wife beat her up. There you go. There you go. Wait a second. I think I've got one. It is the Crooked Joe Biden debate night bingo. Now I might leave this up on the screen so that you can go through some of this stuff as he talks to Scranton Joe. If that comes up, if he brain freezes. Oh, I love it when he does this. When he whispers into the mic, like I've got some kind of a big secret that I need to tell. And then he shouts. And he comes in and he shouts into the same microphone. If he's saved, if he's having a hard time keeping up with Donald Trump and is saved by fake Tapper, love that, touch his nose. Does he do that? I thought I was the only one that spent a lot of time touching my nose.
Touching it, man.
Sometimes there's itchies in there, and I don't know, holding on to the lectern for dear life when he mentions his Uncle Bozy. If he does any kind of shuffling, like I said, I'll leave this up so that you can see what it is, and then you you cover the space. You know how bingo works, and I think if you turn it into the bartender over at Venue today, maybe you get a free Michelob Ultra. Or maybe not. I don't know. I don't want to make any assurances on their behalf. 888-8255-888-TALK. If you got stuff that you want to send in, the meme machine seems to be working. Yesterday I was complaining about many things, but I was complaining because the meme machine, I kept getting all these messages from people that said message incomplete, maybe got to wait a little bit longer, but it looks like there was an update to the WhatsApp, and it's working a whole lot better right now. So be on the lookout for that. I also received in the mail yesterday, thought this was interesting. I thought an envelope. An actual envelope.
Snail mail?
With...
What's in there,
well,
dude?
I don't know. Every once radio stations, we still do a lot with snail mail. I mean, people pay their advertising bills with that. People send me my bills in the snail mail. So it wasn't unusual to get something like this. But it was a to whom it may concern. But there's a story now. Indulge me because I'm going to read you a little bit of maybe the whole thing, because it doesn't look like there's too much of this that I could leave out without hurting the nature of the story. I want to give my greatest appreciation to the Air Force man who saved my life on the side of the road. While headed home to see my family, I started to choke on my lunch meat that I had not time to eat during the day. I don't like bringing home any leftover lunch because my wife spent so many hours cooking. As I'm stuffing my face with her wonderful cooking, I soon began to choke. I tried my best to spit it out with no luck. I pulled over the side of Route 3 and got out of my car quickly. I tried to flag down the cars, but nobody pulled over. I can only imagine what they were thinking. Maybe I frightened them, being a large man driving a junk car. Soon, I start to panic, so I go to the other side of the car and kneel down to pray. God is so good. I see a man pull over to help me, but I can't stand up at this point. He tried asking if I was okay and was about to call 911, but he left his phone in the car. I motioned to my throat, which is the universal sign for I'm choking, right? I motioned to my throat, and he soon realizes I'm choking without hesitation. He grabs me and starts doing the Heimlich on me. I'm sure this part was only second, but it felt like hours. I just remembered seeing my family's faces one last time. I remember thinking, I don't want my kids growing up without a dad. The next thing I know, my food comes flying from my mouth onto the ground. I gasped. It took the biggest breath that seemed to go on forever. God is good. We both sat on our butts leaning next to the car. I finally got a good solid look at the young man who just saved my life. He was in uniform and wore a red hat. He was just as red as his hat while catching his breath. After the day I just had in an afternoon like this, I could do nothing except shed tears. The young man saw this, and he put his hand on my shoulder and said he was glad he stopped. I thanked him over and over for saving my life, and after a couple of minutes sitting, he stood up and grabbed my hand to help me off the ground. I gave him the biggest hug. I told him I wanted to tell everyone that he saved my life. He laughed and said there was no need and he would help anybody in trouble. I tried to invite him over for our barbecue next weekend, but he said he was getting ready to go see his family and would not be back for some time. So I gave him a biggest hug again and thanked him over and over. He chuckled and said he was glad I'm okay. As I see his van driving off in the distance, I instantly remember I forgot to ask his name. I do remember seeing Snyder on his uniform. I know this young man asked me not to tell everyone, but I feel the need to thank him even more.
Sorry, man, we outed you.
I will send a few letters to base and maybe a few more places in the hopes of finding him and spreading the word. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you for saving my life. Because of you, I'm able to cherish more days with my family. May God protect you always. We wish you safe travels to see your family. Sincerely, the Gutierrez family.
Wow. So, Master Sergeant Snyder.
I believe that is correct.
Yeah.
Amazing. I reached out to our friends in high command at Anderson Air Force Base.
The Brigadier General?
Actually, it was Jeff. And it was other guy.
Hey, Jeff.
I'm still, I'm still not comfortable bothering the general.
Name's Jeff.
So I reached out to Captain Jeff, and he said, yeah, Technical Sergeant Dustin Snyder. And if you follow the 36th Wing Commander on Facebook, you already know that. So this is the good news. Now, we know who this Good Samaritan was. We know Air Force guy, Tech Sergeant, and he is within reach of the 36th Wing. And I imagine that they're going to be doing a more formal award ceremony in the future.
For sure,
okay,
man.
but here's what we don't know.
Yeah.
The Gutierrez family didn't leave any contact information.
No,
I don't know which Gutierrez family this is.
There's a few different ones, yeah.
Who's got like a
and
big...
did he really like his wife's food?
He got the big uncle with the junk car. It's the only way I can describe this guy now. 888-8255-888-TALK. If you think you might know which Gutierrez family this is, reach out to them and have them get a hold of us because I think there does need to be a little bit more of a formal get-together. And thank you very much. The guys, obviously, in the Air Force are super, super proud. But not necessarily super impressed because what did the guy say about his airmen?
That's what
Par
they
for
do.
the course. It's what they do. There's no greater force for good in this world than a man or a woman wearing a uniform in the Armed Forces of the United States of America. 6:55 in the morning. Might be a little bit more of that America loving going on. We have not been able to get a hold because he's been otherwise distracted or whatever. Pica's best mayor. Oh,
yes,
can you nominate him?
I want to nominate
him for Pica's best mayor, and then I'll do one for Paco. Because Jess never comes to pick up my trash.
Wait,
Paco does.
Wasn't he like first runner-up last time?
I think so. No, it's always between Jess Alec, Mayor Paco, and Junie from Barragata. So it's usually those three in the finals for Pica's best. But you do what you do. Just go ahead and get the nomination in there at some point this morning. But he's got an interesting letter to the editor that you might see in the thing, and I'm definitely going to refer to it a little bit later on. If you're looking for something fun to do this weekend, remind me to talk about the Paseo Takeover. Have you been to one of these yet?
What's that? It's like a car thing?
It's a car thing.
It is?
Yeah. Imminent Unlimited.
Do we do donuts?
No, they're not allowed to do that anymore. Because they I don't know. I know still, right? But they at the racetrack. This is why we need a racetrack.
People get hit.
Yeah.
So we can have people
Kids
doing drifting
always getting hit by the donuts
and spin outs and sound offs and all of that kind of stuff. But I'll get you details on that before too much longer. 888-8255-888-TALK. The Biden debate, Biden-Trump debate is again a big deal on my table of contents. This is a local story as far as I'm concerned because we will be among the first in the nation to be able to watch this and then zoom into a weekend. Everybody else, this is a Thursday night deal. You need to think about this.
Wait a minute. What time is it going to be over there? Like 2 a.m.?
No, it's 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
What time is that Eastern Standard? Was it
have
7,
no
8 o'clock
idea.
at night? Yeah. Well, whatever it is, I think it'll be an evening, but it'll be a Thursday evening. Here, we're going to be watching this thing on Friday afternoon. So I'm thinking this is what a great way to kick off the weekend. Now, they've done some research on this, wanted to find out who is more likely to watch a Biden-Trump debate. And I don't know that this surprises anybody, but 75% that identify as Republicans are definitely going to be watching this debate. Only 60% who identify as Democrats are going to be watching the debate. Gee, I wonder why. You don't want to be there in those cringe moments where Biden does what we've seen Biden do over the last 3.5 years. 58% of independent voters say that they'd like to watch the debate, considering that their guy, RFK, is not going to be in this. Republicans more invested in watching the face-off between President Biden and former President Trump than Democrats or independents. 75% of Republicans said they're likely to watch that televised debate. Trump and his team have sought to temper expectations and conservative media narratives that he will outperform Biden tonight. These will be put to the test. Many Americans really believe the narrative that Biden's this senile old man who's secretly or not so secretly controlled by Vice President Harris, and Trump's going to clean the floor with him, said a pollster. Really? Vice President Harris is in control of the Biden White House?
Never heard of her.
Yeah. the great cackler of our time. But I'm going to be looking forward to it for all of the obvious reasons. And a few other great stories that were floating around here. The debate apparently continued on Bill 175 over at the legislature. All of the usual people having a good day and all the usual people having a bad day. I think there's a quote in the story that John O'Connor did in the Guam Daily Post talking about how Sabine said that Speaker Therese Turley did call for order a few times during the session Thursday, and at one point commented that it was a very hostile working environment that day. I don't know what's going to be happening on that. I don't know when we're all going to be voting on the bills that have made it to the third reading file, because it looks like they spent a lot of time talking about just a handful of measures as opposed to about the 22 or so plus veto overrides that they haven't gotten any attention on. At any rate, we'll see what we can find out there. What's that? Hello, Ray. Just wanted to say nice and positive story about the man who served the choking dude. Very heartwarming. Thank you, thanks for listening. I appreciate it. Looks like we know who the guy is and who to pin the medal on. We just need to find the guy that he saved and his family to get everybody.
You'll get one of those special challenge coins, Ray?
In the very least.
At the least.
In the very least, yeah. What is it? Sharper edge, leading edge of the battle. So,
the
yeah,
forward
I think
edge.
there's going to be that. Forward edge. Yeah, that's what they call it. I don't know.
Yes.
And you might be wondering, is there anything else going on? You know, here's the problem. Is the big story came and went. It only lasted about 24 hours, and that was the Julian Assange story. And they're now it has come back down to what things like this always come down to, and that is journalists interviewing other journalists. And frankly, that kind of bores me. So as far as I'm concerned, Julian Assange, thumbs up. Enjoy Australia. Enjoy your life. And if you want to get back into the business of uncovering secrets and holding people accountable, I'm sure that at least this one guy will be happy to watch your work in the future. Closing in on 7 o'clock in the morning. Fox News Live is coming up in just moments. On the other side of that, Donna D with a look at all the big news and headlines. Jerry Roberts, that drive time genius, is coming in, and it's Friday. And you know how he likes to make the extra points a little bit extra, extra on Fridays. We'll see how he dresses it up for you in just a few minutes. Take a look at what's happening in the markets, etc. It's all ahead right here on the Ray Gibson Show. KUSG got you. Peak is best. Run it 3 years in a row. Going for a 4-Pete. Nominate today, please.
Will they mention age on the debate stage? I'm John Saucier, Fox News. President Biden, former President Trump will square off tonight in the first presidential debate of this 2024 general election cycle. The economy, of course, expected to take center stage. Fox Business Network reporter Edward Lawrence has more from the White House.
In almost every economic speech, President Joe Biden misrepresents the job data. You commonly hear him say this. Listen.
The plan's working. You know, we've created 15 million jobs since we took office.
So the fact is, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the economy added back all the jobs from the pandemic and created 6.2 million jobs. President Biden skips over the fact that the pandemic shut down businesses, schools, manufacturing, decimated the travel industry. When things opened up, those were not new jobs being created, but old ones coming back. However, the Bureau of Labor Statistics says the economy added back all the manufacturing jobs from the pandemic and created 185,000 manufacturing jobs.
Some of the other issues expected to be discussed at tonight's debate: immigration, border security, and ongoing wars around the world. The CNN presidential debate happens 9 p.m. Eastern. We will have a simulcast for you on the Fox News channel. The federal judge overseeing the Mar-a-Lago documents case in Florida denying former President Trump a chance to argue that the search warrant leading to his arrest was actually faulty. We've got Fox's Evan Brown in Miami with more on this one.
U.S. District Court Judge Eileen Cannon in Fort Pierce, Florida, will not grant former President Donald Trump a special hearing to argue the search warrant used to raid his home at the Mar-a-Lago Club in search of supposedly classified documents was out of bounds. The judge says lawyers for the former president provided incomplete evidence to compel that hearing, called a Franks hearing. However, the judge hasn't yet ruled on the motion to suppress the evidence yielded from that search, reserving the right to rule on it in the future. In Miami, Eben Brown, Fox News.
Eben, thank you very much. America is listening to Fox News.
JV International Safety Equipment has it all for you. Fall protection, rain gear, traffic signs, speed bumps, custom signs and banners, PPEs, fire extinguishers, plus more. Check them out on Facebook at JV International Safety Equipment Company or visit their website, www.jvisec.com. JV International Safety Equipment, Guam's leader in occupational and environmental safety equipment. Call 688-9524. JV International Safety Equipment, located in Harmon Industrial Park.
Choose the right pediatrician for your child. Your child may need to be seen by a doctor throughout the year. An FHP pediatrician can help ensure your child is safe and healthy. Now accepting new patients. For appointments, call 671-646-5825, option 1. Most insurance plans accepted, including Take Care and GovGuam self-funded. Self-pay patients welcome. Open Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. FHP Pediatrics, our island, your clinic.
The U.S. Justice Department charging 193 defendants in a nationwide healthcare fraud scheme involving $2.7 billion worth of false billings. U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland saying in the Southern District of Florida, the department charged 3 owners of a pharmaceutical wholesale company in a $90 million wire fraud conspiracy to distribute adulterated HIV drugs to pharmacies all across the country.
We allege that the defendants purchased these drugs at steep discounts from black market suppliers and then resold them to pharmacies with falsified documentation designed to conceal the true source of the medication.
He says at least one patient received a bottle labeled as his prescription HIV medication, but actually turned out to be antipsychotic drugs, causing him to pass out for 24 hours after taking it. The United States Supreme Court issuing a much-anticipated abortion ruling. Here's Fox's Tanya J. Powers.
A day after a Supreme Court draft opinion allowing emergency abortions in Idaho was posted online prematurely, justices have made it an official ruling. This clears the way for Idaho hospitals to provide the procedures for now, but the case could eventually end up back before the court. While the matter plays out in lower courts, the justices temporarily reinstated a ruling that had allowed the emergency abortions without being subject to prosecution under Idaho's near-total ban. The issue centers around the federal act that requires certain hospitals to stabilize or transfer patients who need care. The case comes 2 years after the court overturned Roe v. Wade, which made abortion legal in every state. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
And a New Hampshire man who had been on trial for threatening to kill presidential candidates found dead while a jury was deciding on a verdict. The Justice Department didn't specify which ones, but said Tyler Anderson had threatened to impale and shoot candidates. He was facing up to 5 years in prison. We did not receive any comment from Anderson's attorney. He was 30 years old. I'm John Saucier, and this is Fox News.
You know, life shouldn't be this hard for those who live here. That's why I have a vision for lower prices on airfare, more affordable housing, better health care, and moving veteran services from Hawaii to Guam. I will cut through the red tape and get Guam a role in the economic expansion in the Asian Pacific. With more federal support for infrastructure, a 100% screen to stop illegal drugs, and new high-paying jobs, we can turn Guam's unique position into lasting prosperity. I'm Ginger Cruz. I approve this ad, and I humbly ask for your vote.
For all your real estate needs, call the professionals at Hoffaday Realty. Jody, Saran, Libby, and Lolita, and they'll take care of you on every step of the real estate process. No worries. Just contact Hoffaday Realty at 588-4232 or 588-HOFFA or email them at hoffadayrealty@gmail.com. They're at 426 Challenge San Antonio, Suite 204 in Tamuning. Open Monday through Friday, 10 to 4. Hoffaday Realty for all your real estate needs.
Your 7 o'clock local news is brought to you by AB Risk Solutions.
Off at 7:06, I'm Donna DeJesus. Here's a look at your local news on The Point. 17-year-old John Apollonio will be tried as an adult for a fatal crash in Hagåtña. He admitted to police that he drank vodka before speeding, losing control, and hitting a concrete utility pole. Apollonio and 3 other teens were in the car. A 17-year-old girl later died from her injuries after being thrown from the vehicle. Apollonio had no license or permit and said friends taught him to drive. He drank alcohol for a year, saying he easily obtained it from adults. Before the crash, he had shots of vodka and drove at 75 miles per hour. Apollonio is charged with vehicular homicide and DWI and faces 25 years in prison and is being held on $5,000 cash bail. And GPD is investigating multiple break-ins at GDOE schools this week, appealing for public assistance. Incidents at Finnegodson Elementary, Mauricio Elementary, Talafofa Elementary, and GW High School involved facilities being vandalized and items stolen. Classrooms, cafeterias, and AV rooms were hit. Earlier this month, minors were arrested for similar crimes in other areas. GPD urges anyone with information to call police dispatch or Guam Crime Stoppers anonymously for a possible $1,000 reward. More news after this.
Boss, I got run over by a forklift.
Boss, I crashed a company truck.
What do we do? Our warehouse and inventory are gone.
Hi, this is Dave Silva from AB Risk Solutions, and it's time for Risk 101. Everything you just heard are examples of risk your businesses can face. Our job is to ask the hard what-if questions and teach you how to reduce your exposures and help you recover if things go sideways. We've got decades of experience in Micronesia working with businesses big and small. Call AB Risk Solutions today at 777-2668 for a free inspection and quote.
AB Risk Solutions, formerly known as Aon.
Senators tabled Bill 51, which proposes allowing accessory dwelling units on residential properties until a public hearing scheduled for July. Sponsored by Senator Chris Duenas, the bill aims to alleviate Guam's affordable housing crisis by permitting small additional dwellings on existing residential lots. Despite initial committee approval, concerns surfaced, prompting Speaker Therese Terlahi to draft amendments addressing issues like potential misuse of units for short-term rentals. While some senators support the bill as a housing solution, others, like Senator Sabina Perez, caution against unintended consequences such as market speculation. The delay allows for further public input before the bill returns for debate. And car enthusiasts are gearing up for the monthly Paseo Takeover organized by Imminent Unlimited at Paseo Park. The event happens every last Saturday of the month and features competitions and showcases for all types of cars. Organizers aim to provide a controlled environment for car lovers to gather after previous safety concerns at the park. Join the event tomorrow night from 7 to 10 for a night of community and car culture celebration. And now, those are your top stories. Back to Ray with weather.
I got an interesting story that I was looking at. I thought I'd seen something like this on TikTok or X yesterday, but there's a little bit more by way of other media that has actually picked it up about a woman that got kicked off a United Airlines flight. Her crime. Have you seen this, Joe?
No.
Her crime?
I'm excited, though.
Misgendering a flight attendant.
Straight to jail.
Straight
to jail.
How dare you? I'll tell you more about this in
no
just a little
fly
bit.
list.
Simpson Harris. Like, please don't. No. It wasn't here. It wasn't around here. Apparently, it was not a widowed Texas mother says she was only concerned with getting her son and her 75-year-old mother back home when she was kicked off a United flight for misgendering a staff member. Jenna Longoria claims the trio were removed from a flight from San Francisco to Austin Wednesday after she accidentally referred to a female identifying employee as a man. You know, what was it, the beard? Footage shared by Longoria shows the moment United Operations Manager Gabriela Cheatham informs her that she will not be able to get on the flight over what came out of her mouth. Now the guys over at United claim that the real issue had to do with some carry-on that she had. She apparently had a stroller strapped to her back or something like that. Yeah. But
someone turned it into that, right?
Yeah.
Way to go, guys.
No, it wasn't the misgendering.
God.
No, really, it wasn't the misgendering. Anyway, it's all over the place. Take a look at it, and I'm not going to say that it was a hot mom, but I don't know. It looked like the woman could have used a little bit of help from a guy out there. Anyway, 7:11 in the morning on the Ray Gibson Show, and so there's that. What did I say? You got to do with the weather? Fine. This could be the last of the mostly sunny days that we're going to get for the week. According to the National Weather Service, mostly sunny with highs near 89 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy. They say the clouds are going to start rolling in tomorrow, making it partly sunny Saturday with daytime highs of about 89 degrees. Mostly cloudy tomorrow night, partly sunny again on Sunday with highs near 88 degrees. Mostly cloudy Sunday night. Overnight low should be 77. With a heat index over the next couple of days, figure 94 degrees today, maybe 92 as the cloud cover comes on. 30% chance of rain. 100% chance of rip currents. Portuguese man-o-wars on the eastern side of the island. So be careful out there. Sunset tonight's going to be at 6:52. Hashtag tell the others. But make sure you use the appropriate pronouns when you do. 7:12 in the morning. And we got Tattoo Sean Gumatau checking in here in just a few moments. So stay right there.
BK Melts are back at Burger King. Our new Philly Melt is topped with warm peppers and onions, melty Swiss cheese, and royal sauce on a toasted bun. Also available, the classic with caramelized onions and stacker sauce. Top off your meal with our new mozzarella fries, refreshing Coca-Cola, and our birthday pie. Available for a limited time only. BK Tumon Bay, Hagutnya, Micronesia Mall, and the airport. Thank you for 35 years. You rule.
This summer, don't miss out on a hot opportunity. Save big when you upgrade to Docomo Pacific's Business Unlimited Max. Say goodbye to hefty fees and enjoy free roaming in the U.S., Japan, South Korea, and the Philippines. But that's not all. From now until August 31st, save up to $20 a month on payments. A whopping $600 in overall savings. Plus, receive $150 towards mobile accessories. Some conditions apply. Call 688-2677 to upgrade and maximize your benefits this summer.
Gotcha. Ray Gibson Show portions brought to you by APL, American President Lines, a global presence with a local home.
It's the Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
Extreme Ray Gibson is all over the place. Facebook Live is packed and jammed up. So is YouTube Live. Kichitsu in Conus sending his hellos. There's Bel Marie Toves, Washington, D.C., 88 degrees, feels like 89. Partly cloudy in D.C., winds 8 miles an hour. Air quality just good today. Tommy Napati online. Who else is there? Kichitsu in Japan says Walmart chicks, and then he makes this vomity face here. I don't know. Were we talking about little baby chicks at the time or actual women? I'm not sure. Tammy Pangilinan is online. So is Lisa Greeno with this morning's instructions. Another fun, productive, and informative day with The Point. I'll work on that. MPO go their security for the program. And don't forget, whenever I see MPO go or these guys, Bunker, et cetera, I always think about the VFW. And tonight, 7 o'clock, the Queen of Hearts drawing. They did not get a winner last week, so it's almost $3,000, maybe more, in winning that you could probably get into tonight. AF member with the red cover is most likely a Red Horse Troop. Yeah, that's what I think. Dancing Trout is wondering, where's the broadcasting from? And if you're talking about me, I'm broadcasting to you live from a spot in Upper Tumon in Guam. There's Brennan Fausto. Brother veteran warfighters are out there. 7:14 in the morning. Tattoo Sean Gumatau on one.
Yes, sir.
Let me bring him in there. How you doing there, Tattoo Sean? A big day ahead. I'm getting requests and for information from all of my friends wondering when is the right time to show up for the viewing party over at the venue.
I would say probably around 10:45. I believe the debate is supposed to begin at 11 a.m. Guam time. So, 10:45 would probably be the best time for those folks who are going to try to get down to the venue in Agana.
Cool.
Yep. That would be the best time.
All right, and it's $10 to get in?
Yep, $10 to get in. Donation to the Republican Party of Guam. We appreciate everybody coming and check it out. And, yep, it should be a lot of fun. And I know you're wearing red. You're trying to make us all look bad, Ray.
Yes.
You're wearing a nice shirt.
Yes, I'm wearing it. It's the same color as Donald Trump's tie. That's how I selected it. I went to Macy's and I got a picture of Trump and he's wearing that tie, and I overlaid it against all the different shirts until I found a perfect match. So that's my story. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Now, come all bougie to the debate to watch party, but the other events become a little bit different.
This is also true. This is a big one. There's a lot of people that are excited about this because we think that this might be, this is the opportunity. This is our game day, if you will, in this debate between Trump and Biden. And I'm not. It's not just me saying that, but even the Republicans have got memes just like the one I've got up on screen that say exactly that. Game day debate 2024, right. Trump v. Biden.
Yeah, I think many of us are kind of curious to see how both are going to perform. I think that if you think about the lead up, all the rallies, all the ads, I guess on national media, this is going to be kind of a all eyes are going to be on this. And both conventions haven't happened, Ray, so it's the earliest.
It is kind of interesting. Yeah, they're presumptive nominees for the parties, but nobody's shown up at a convention saying, Mr. Speaker, I represent the beautiful island of Guam, a warm half a day, and we'd like to pledge all. How many votes are going to be cast for Trump at the convention from Guam?
There's 9. We have 9 delegates and 9 votes for Guam in the RNC this summer.
Okay, now my understanding is that Eddie Jerome Baza-Calvo will not be in that group. He stepped away as the chairman, and so instead of him going, he will be represented by stepping in early Chairman Juan Carlos Benitez. Correct?
Yeah, yes, because he's our incoming national committee man. That means Mel Young, who was an alternate, moves up as well. Benny Panal now becomes a voting delegate to the convention. So
Does he know? Because it's not cheap. You know, you got to get on an airplane. There's airplane and hotel accommodations you got to pay for.
Oh no, everyone's all set at this point. So it's exciting.
Yeah, it's one of those. Because I remember when I was an alternative, and then all of a sudden we got hit with COVID, and I remember breathing a sigh of relief, saying, "Whew, dodged that bullet. I don't have to pay for airplane ride and hotel accommodations wherever the city was supposed to be." Anyway, so that's going on. 718. What do we need to do? What do we need to do about food? Is venue going to have any chow or?
The executive committee, we're all going to bring in some different snacks, pizzas. I think it's on the menu. So just if you can, just come in. And again, we were talking about earlier. Michelob Ultra on draft over at Phil's place, so it should be a lot of fun too.
All right,
and early.
We're not the only ones doing it. As I've said numerous times already, we do have the guys over at VFW up in Jigo. They're going to be having a viewing party.
The chili dogs, I think that's a special. And so if they can't come to Agana, then go to VFW and enjoy the debate with the crew up there.
Bro, and just stay all day until they do the Queen of Hearts drawing.
Yeah, because you might win it.
Because you might win thousands of dollars. You may win enough money to get on an airplane ride and go cast a vote for Donald Trump at the convention.
Absolutely.
7:18 in the morning. Well, I appreciate you taking a couple of minutes. I'm looking forward to seeing you and everybody else that is running for under the Republican ticket that's not going to be trapped over at the legislature while they're in session.
Well, I mean, I'm going to enjoy the time too, Ray. And again, we were talking about those Michelob Ultras, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. Excuse for daytime drinking. Cool. All right, buddy. I'll talk to you later. 7:19 in the morning. JT's on the line. Wanted to know about weather. Good morning, JT.
Yes. Thank you for allowing me to talk. In the mainland, there's a lot of awareness about these chemtrails, and a lot of naysayers call them contrails.
Huh.
The state of Tennessee has passed legislation against chemtrails in their state. So something's happening over there. If anybody notices on Guam, they do that here.
Yes, I have. There was a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, JT, maybe you and I are looking at the same thing. You look up in the sky, and it's not uncommon to see planes flying way overhead, yeah, that's you see that all the time. But in recent days, I've noticed there have been more than one or two kind of flying in what almost resembles a pattern.
Northwest.
Yes.
North or northwest, mainly. I've seen it go east to west, mainly in the afternoon. I also seen it at night. How do I see it at night? On a moonlit night, you could see the clouds, you could see the chemtrails.
What do you think they're dropping?
Aluminum is one.
What for?
All you got to do is go on the internet and go to geoengineering.org.
Geoengineering, again, save me the trouble. What's the point of dropping flakes of aluminum from 60,000 feet?
It could be weather mod. It could be to create a medium for radio waves, 5G, whatever. I mean, it's beyond what I can think. But all you got to do is do your research on the internet.
I'm just busy with other conspiracy theories. I'm not trying to debunk yours at all. I see it.
All you got to do is look up to the sky. The sky does not lie.
I'm absolutely with you, JT. I see them all the time, and it causes me to wonder what is going on up there. Are they chemtrails? Are they contrails, as some people refer to them as? I appreciate your time. Want you to have a good day. Hope I see you. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, one more thing.
Sure.
The weather radar has been down since December for parts. It's never been up. No, it's been dry season.
Yeah, it's been up and down, and I've talked to the guys over at JTWC about that.
Down. It's been down. The National Weather Service does not repair or maintain it.
Air Force.
They say the Air Force does. And all you got to do is go on the National Weather Service website, and once in a while they'll put a blurb on what's the radar status. Over 6 months, it's been down.
Oh, I know. I talk to the island guys about this all the time, and have been after them to get the whatever it is, change the batteries on this thing so we can have the radar. It's fine during the dry season, but when it gets to be the wet season and deep into storm season, I want to make sure that our radar is working, and I don't have just the satellite images for which to guess the weather about. And in the very least, JT, to decide whether or not I want to take the time, trouble, and expense of getting myself from my place in Totu down to the beach on a Friday or Saturday, not knowing what the weather's going to be like. I'm going to let you run. Talk to you soon.
Real quick.
No, I got.
No, correction. It has been down during the dry season since December of 2023. And before that, they always have these excuses like it's overheating. We got to turn it down because the aircon's down, or parts.
Yeah, no.
Marshall Islands radar. Marshall Islands has a weather radar that is always up. How do I know? I go on windy.com and I see all the radars that are up.
Gotcha. Well, I'm telling you what the guys from the National Weather Service have told me about it, and they say it's a battery issue. I complain regularly about it. I don't know that there is a grand conspiracy between the National Weather Service and the United States Air Force on using that to cloak or shield what they might be doing by way of geoengineering the planet. It's a curiosity to me. When I see them up there, I look and I see the planes and I think, golly, I hope that's one of ours. But is it one of ours that's just enjoying a flight at 65,000 feet where the hot air engine gas goes out and condenses in the very, very cold air? Is that what's going on? Is that what we're seeing? Or are they actually doing some kind of weather modifications, as what the guy was talking about? Now, you think that sounded a little hysterical? Go to European websites and the European TikToks. Just start looking around for that on your TikTok. And your Twitter and X's.
It's aluminum sulfate.
It could be. That's the same stuff that goes into underarm deodorant, isn't it?
I've got plenty of it.
All right, 7:24 in the morning. Jerry Roberts is in the studio. He'll know what to do. I've got to go through just rather rapidly, as much as we can, the report here on the markets and see how everybody doing today. Let's see. I got to scooch all the way up on this, and then we got. Hold on. American markets. Thank you very much. S&P 500 up by almost 5. NASDAQ up by almost 54. And the Dow Jones Industrial Average just a little bit shy of 36 and a half. All American markets are green. That's the good news. FTSE is down. I got the Nikkei off by 325. Hang Seng's down by 373. Look out for the Shanghai Index, off by about 26. The DAX is up by about 55 points. On the commodities, like to take a look and see what's going on with gold at $2,338.70 for an ounce of gold. That's $25 green from where it was yesterday. West Texas crude now trading at $81.81. It was down around $81.95 when I came into work this morning, so a tiny bit cheaper than that. But yesterday it was only $80.76. So West Texas could be meandering in the upward range. Tappas crude at $84.49, a little bit cheaper than it was yesterday. It was $84.86 yesterday. Japanese yen still weak against the dollar. It's 160.78. We might as well call it 161 against the American dollar. Philippine peso likewise 58.64. A tiny bit stronger than it was just yesterday. I get the South Korean won at 1,386. Better day for Bitcoin, right?
61,463. So it's up by
a little bit up from where it was yesterday.
700.
That's a big news here. 7:26 in the morning. Jerry Roberts is in the studio, and it's time. Sure. I'm out for the extra point, but I'm going to bug you about your predictions for the debate starting about 11 o'clock this morning.
My predictions?
Yeah. Don't disappoint me now. Come on, Jerry Roberts.
Well, with all the restrictions that are placed on this. And all the drama leading up to it, because it's CNN and the moderators and all that.
Fake tapper.
I think that will probably be the high point of the debate. I don't think it'll move the needle at all. I don't think there'll be many surprises. I think Biden will call Trump a convicted felon, or Trump may just jump up. He doesn't know. Trump may jump in and can say convicted felon,
right,
and mean tweets and all the other business right at the beginning of the thing, and then get it out of the way, and then say, how's the economy going, Joe? And then go from there.
Losing any more teenage girls to illegal immigrants? Illegals crossing your border there, Joe?
I think they'll all going to get their points in. CNN will get their points in too on Trump. Probably.
Oh boy!
And at the end of the day, it probably will be. The expectations will be higher than the deliverables. Let's just say that.
I got you. Well, I'm still going to make a day of it.
Yeah,
Me and my buddies. That's why I'm wearing my red shirt.
Oh, good.
It's a red shirt for red for Republicans. Red wave.
I think so.
727. Now, Jerry Roberts is in the studio with this morning's Extra Point, brought to you by First Hawaiian Bank. Make it good, Jerry.
Thank you, Ray. Did you ever work around somebody who's almost always negative? This is a person who will find fault in something where others simply see it all as positive. It reminds me of a news reporter 2,000 years ago, having learned that Jesus Christ walked on water during a storm on the Sea of Galilee, then publishing a story with the headline, Jesus Can't Swim. These people are among us. Now, today, we're going to look at how we can get along with these folks and avoid becoming one of them. That's next on the Extra Point.
New benefits are taking flight. Instead of 2 times miles, the United credit card from First Hawaiian Bank is now introducing 3 times miles on every dollar spent on United tickets purchased through United ticketing channels. Apply by August 31st, 2024, and if approved, you can earn 35,000 miles when you spend $1,500 within the first 3 months. Get on board with the First Hawaiian Bank United credit card. It all starts with yes. Terms and conditions apply. To learn more, visit a First Hawaiian branch or go to fhb.com/United.
At APL, their expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing their efforts in giving back to the community. APL's dedicated team in Guam and the U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit apl.com.
We've all encountered them. The coworker who constantly complains, criticizes, and spreads negativity throughout the workplace. A name is used to describe the women who fit this description, Debbie Downer. They can be a real drain on morale and productivity, leaving their coworkers feeling frustrated and even discouraged. Now, strangely, there is no widely accepted male equivalent to Debbie. Now, some people have tried negative Ned, pessimistic Pete, and even grumpy Gus. But none of those seem to fit and seem to work as well as Debbie Downer does. In the business classic, First Break All the Rules, authors Marcus Buckingham and Curtis Kaufman describe these perpetually dissatisfied workers as cave dwellers. Now, wait a second now, before you head off on a tangent. CAVE, C-A-V-E, it's an acronym, and it stands for Consistently Against Virtually Everything. I saw this last night and I said, that's pretty good. Consistently against virtually everything. These people have an unrelenting negativity that can cause problems in any office environment. While some of their gripes may be legitimate, their overall toxic attitude is ultimately counterproductive. As Buckingham and Kaufman famously advised, people don't change that much. Don't waste time trying to put in what was left out. Instead, try to draw out what was left in. That's hard enough. Here's the translation. It means that we should focus on employee strengths rather than weaknesses by harnessing natural talents and providing opportunities to do more of what workers are good at. Organizations can boost productivity, retention, and overall job satisfaction. But what about those stubborn Debbies and Neds and Petes and Gusses and anyone else you want to toss into the mix? Is there any hope of turning their attitude around? According to Jamil Zaki, a Stanford University psychology professor and author of the forthcoming book, Hope for Cynics, the answer to that question is maybe. To turn that question mark into a yes, it will require a patient, multifaceted approach. Zaki's research suggests that if employees are willing to examine their assumptions and experiment with placing trust in others, they can indeed improve their outlook and their behavior. The key is to avoid getting drawn into the negative spiral, recommending alternative approaches or even facilitating a transfer to a more suitable role could re-engage a checked-out team member. So what if the negativity is chronic and nothing you do has any impact? Well, there are times when the best course of action is to help the worker exit the organization and continue their career someplace else. Chronic negativity can be contagious, and sometimes the needs of the business outweigh the ability to turn the person around who has no interest in turning around. That's the extra point. Be responsible and make something good happen today. For 93.3 FM, The Ray Gibson Show, and First Hawaiian Bank. I'm Jerry Roberts.
I just ain't got no time for that. I recognize and can spot them almost immediately. Oh yeah. Because, well, you know who we are. Largely gregarious people, and for everything and against nothing. And when you run into somebody that is your opposite, you just don't want to be around them. And I've left places because I could just feel that the toxicity out of that person, and think there's far happier places for us. 7:32 in the morning, Jerry Roberts, and I don't know if there's a category you can nominate him under in Pika's Best, but today is the beginning of nominations for Pika's Best. Already,
I get to vote for you
hair.
and the radio station.
Best hair.
Oh yeah. Best hair. Best hair. Oh, and
just category for bald.
Well,
come on.
Should be. I mean,
come on, Kaleo.
Best bald dude.
Better than anybody else. So he's maybe a little bit later on he'll come in and do some training. But who we got coming in that's going to be working the news next week? Norman Analista.
Norman
Analista. Yes. And so the rub here is I will be surrounded by bald guys.
Yeah.
There's you and Norman and Real Joe.
Rub it.
Not a need for a brush amongst all three of you. 7:33 in the morning and time for news.
And you will be joining us someday soon.
Oh, there's a thing. All right, there is a meme floating around.
Ray, welcome.
And it just says, "Oh, you got male pattern baldness. You're losing your hair."
Jerry's not only a member, he's the president.
The same way we want Trump to own the convicted felon. I want him to go in with that printed on his back.
I
want him to wear a coat like Apollo Creed going in to go and beat up Rocky that says convicted felon on it. So
this is my real hair.
He can own it. That guy can own it. All right, it's time for the news here, being brought to you by Holiday Realty, Pika's Best Realty for 2023. You can nominate them for 2024 this morning. Jody, Saran, Libby, Auntie Loli, and their team of pros waiting by the phone for your call. Answer your questions about real estate. What's moving? What's buying? What's selling? 588-4232. It's also being brought to you, of course, by the guys over at Burger King. Nominate them in about 20 different categories, having everything to do with restaurants and burgers. And while you're doing that, work up an appetite. Try out a BK Melt. They're back. Philly cheese, classic, and bacon, and plenty more. Try that out today over at the BK Place. It's 7:34 in the Ray Gibson Show. Donna D with the news. Avo, what's going on?
Police arrested 3 men accused of drilling holes in car gas tanks to steal gas. They are investigating at least 27 similar cases. A young boy's tip and security camera footage helped catch one suspect. The other two were linked to the crimes through the first arrest. And a resident is asking for assistance in locating his stolen 2017 black Toyota 4Runner featuring a distinctive red Crowns decal on its rear window. The vehicle was last seen at Green Park Condos in Manila and was reported stolen in April while the owner was off island. He urges anyone with leads to reach out to police. And nominations open today for PDN's Pika's Best of Guam 2024 awards. There are 8 categories with over 200 subcategories. Nominate daily from today through July 22 online at picasbestofguam.guampdn.com. Nominate The Point for Best Radio Station under the Services category. The top 5 nominees will be announced on July 29, and voting will start at the end of August. And those are your local headlines. Back to Ray.
All right, thanks very much, and appreciate the plug here. 7:35 in the morning. As far as I'm concerned, the best radio personality thing is not just for me personally. I consider it to be all of the members of the program, you, Jerry, and Real Joe, etc., and even the callers and the listeners. It's not my what is it? The victory has many. The eagle of victory has many feathers. I think it's an old.
This is our great leader.
It's an old American Indian phrase.
I like it, man.
Apparently, vegan is
American Indian.
Yeah, a vegan is an old Indian phrase as well. This is someone who cannot hunt. 7:36 in the morning. I got to take a break and get ready. We're going to have military greatness on the air with us very shortly. I'll be right back.
Stay cool all year round by checking out Johnstone Supply for your HVAC and refrigeration needs. Located at 170 Guerrero Drive on Picanel Road in Tamuning, call John John Stone Supply today at 671-649-0581. That's 671-649-0581. Open 8 a.m. to noon and 1 to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Open Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. and closed on Sundays. Stay cool with John Stone Supply.
KFC's $5 breakfast deals are the best and most affordable ways to start your day. The Colonel's Chicken and Rice Bowl, $5. Chicken fried steak, $5. Sausage, biscuit, and gravy, $5. And they all come with a fresh coffee. KFC $5 breakfast deals are served starting at 6 a.m. daily at your favorite KFC restaurant. KFC, it's finger licking good.
I agree. 737, that says a lot. RFK talking about his assessment of Donald Trump as a master debater. And I'll leave that there. Thank you very much. I know where your brain's headed, Joe. And stop now. 7:37 in the morning. That's Beyond the Box time. Find them over at the Micronesia Mall first floor and just fall in love with the technology. Lots and lots happening in the Apple world. I've got the beta for 18 on my iPhone, and while I don't necessarily have rainbows shooting out of my eyes or levitating, I can feel the phone just feels a little bit better, and it's got stronger battery life, et cetera, et cetera. Is that now that I'm using this brand new iPads are available to you. And if you're looking for some serious new phone technology, you're not crazy about Samsungs or iPhones, ask them about the Nothing phone. They've got a Nothing. It's a Nothing 2, and it's a lot less expensive than your Samsungs and your iPhones. But all of the capabilities are built in. And it's got their own set of accessories, including the Nothing earphones that also sound very, very good. Bluetoothy things. And I think they tune your ear so that you can hear the sounds as they were intended to be heard by the producers and the artists. Check it out at Beyond the Box. Ray Gibson Show also brought to you by Island Cancer Center. That's our family treating your family. That's the noise that it makes when I'm supposed to do the traffic, right? Okay.
Roger that.
I don't know if the police are still there, but right around the retirement place up on Route 8, just between Coast 360 and First Hawaiian Bank, there was some police activity taking place a little bit earlier. As I said, I don't know what's happening out there now because my eyes and ears have already made their way to work. But otherwise, it doesn't look so bad. A little bit of traffic getting into the downtown Day-to-Do area up the Pow, but nothing crazy through there. Tiny bit of traffic over by the KFC intersection, maybe a little bit of traffic on 1 and 3, but once you're past that, it's virtually a straight shot. Just intersection traffic at usual spots on Marine Corps Drive, going to Dededo, Upper Tumon, and then the Tamuning area. Nothing crazy coming out of the Guam International Airport. Don't see anything going to slow you down over at the Donkey Village intersection over on Marine Corps Drive at Northgate. Should be police officers directing traffic now. PSA from Paul Tapao indicated that starting at 7 until 6 o'clock tonight, they will have officers of the Guam Police Department.
Thank you so much.
And the airport police.
Give them a burger.
Are going to be there.
And a drink when you pass through.
No, there's
Load them up.
what do you like there? The sweet potato.
That's great.
Sweet potatoes
Sweet
from
potato
Village of
them.
Donkey for all of the guys out there that are directing traffic on Marine Corps Drive. South of that, you're going to be okay. Getting into town on Route 8, Route 4, running fairly clear this morning. We'll make it a short traffic report and make room for the general.
Hey, that party people. It's me, Ray Gibson. Get ready to rewind the clock and groove to the beat to yesteryear. The Throwback Part 2 is back and better than ever, bringing you all the hits that make you feel young again. Join us Saturday, July 13th at Club Zone Nightclub in Tumon as DJ Daryl Izama spins the ultimate throwback playlist. The 70s, 90s, keep you on the dance floor all night long. Plus, we're doing another incredible cash drop and some great throwback t-shirts. Don't miss out on the nostalgia trip of the year. Grab your friends, dress to impress in your retro best, and dance the night away at Throwback Part 2. Doors open at 8:30. See you on the dance floor. Get your tickets now online at guamtime.net. They're $20 plus taxes and fee, but it'll be more at the door, so get it online now. Throwback Part 2, brought to you by the local Grindhouse in Barragata, 76 Circle K, BBG Automotive, and the stations of Choice Broadcasting. Throwback Part 2. Relive the memories on Saturday, July 13th, 8:30 at Club Zone in Tumon. Be there or be square.
The Coconut Wireless is back. The Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
I got it. 7:41 in the morning, and I hope it didn't sound like I gave that guy JT a bum's rush. I didn't mean to. It's just that, but after going from Sean, you still needed to get into the extra point and all of the other stuff. It's not that I am a unbeliever or disbeliever. I'm just in my mind is such a new place for conspiracy theories. And there seems to be something to it. Even CNN wrote about the chemtrail conspiracy theory. Been around since about 96, largely rooted in an Air Force research paper out of that same year, Weather as a Force Multiplier, Owning the Weather in 2025. What year is it now? It outlines a future weather modification system to achieve military objectives in using aerospace forces and not reflecting current military policy, practice, or capabilities, according to the Environmental Protection Agency. At its most basic, the chemtrails conspiracy theory posits that contrails are not created by water vapor at all, but instead are a sign that the government, the wealthy, or some mix of the two is secreting toxic chemicals into the air, creating these white lines that we see out there.
Yeah.
Now,
they're pretty.
It's possible I may have an expert, a subject matter expert on line one that can give me more information on this, although that's not necessarily why we reached out to the 36th Wing Commander, General Moss Polensky. Buenos and Hafide, General. It's a pleasure to have you on the air again.
Hey, Ray, can you hear me?
I hear you loud and proud. Coming in 5 by 5.
All right, good. Let me cover one thing just right out of the gate. This conspiracy theories in general.
Yes.
So I've been in the Department of Defense for 39 years, and I can assure you there is no organization less capable of keeping a secret like a conspiracy than the Department of Defense. Not going to happen.
I understand it, and now I feel somewhat vindicated because I thought maybe I was going to the wrong websites. The chances are I can find it in the New York Times, certainly the Washington Post, et cetera, et cetera. Great having you online, and I received an invitation perhaps to hang out with you and some of the airman families over the next couple of days up at Anderson Air Force Base. You got a couple of big family gigs coming up, huh?
Yeah, we're gonna put a giant slipper slide down the side of my house. I get this huge hill, and you take these tarps. It's about 300 feet, maybe 400 feet long. You can get going probably 20, 30 mile an hour down this hill. You put a little baby soap on the bottom of your boogie board, and then we're gonna see who can go the farthest. And we picked up a Yeti cooler, so he who goes the farthest walks away with the Yeti.
This is totally serious. This is part of the MWR that is all rolled up in one guy as the boss of the shop up at Anderson Air Force Base. Well, as I said, Moss, it's great to have you back on the line, and I couldn't help but think that you were probably a couple of steps ahead of me as I was reading this story about one of your Red Horse guys that actually saved the life of a member of the Gutierrez family up on Route 3 as he was choking on lunch.
Yeah, it was the craziest thing. I got a note. I think I might have got it from you through Jeff Grimes that had that letter that Mr. Gutierrez wrote, and it almost brought tears to my eyes. And nobody wants to see a general crying. But amazing feat of heroism. I'd like to find Mr. Gutierrez if he's out there, so I can invite him on base for when he a medal on Dustin's uniform for this act. Dustin's such a humble guy. After I reached out to his squadron commander and his first shirt, he had never mentioned this event to anybody. That's how humble he is.
Wow. So Tech Sergeant Snyder is what's the whole title we got him?
Yeah, technical. Actually, it's Master Sergeant Select. So he got promoted in this last go. Dustin Snyder. He's a Red Horse guy. He's one of our civil engineers who worked for our CRG. Just an amazing man.
It says that he was not going to be around town long. He was going to go out of town and go visit some family. Is he around now? Was it within?
I'm trying to track him down. I got the people looking into it. The first step was confirming who it was. We got that done, and I've got his squadron leadership trying to figure out whether he's off island, visit his family, or I can get access to him.
All right, and then the other side of this is if you are looking at the same document that I sent to the captain yesterday, it just says sincerely the Gutierrez family. There is no other contact information. The envelope has got our address here at the radio station and a freedom stamp on on the back of it, and that's all I got. I don't know which Gutierrez family this is. There aren't that many. It should be fairly easy to find. But if you know of this guy, maybe the dad running around telling his story about and looking for this guy, Sergeant Snyder, we found him, and everybody wants to make kind of a big deal about this. You said he's got a medal waiting for him?
Yeah, we're going to figure out whether I can give him an airman. There's a thing called an airman's medal. I'm not sure it qualifies because I think the airman's got to be in the threat of his own life while he does his heroic act. But at a minimum, I'm going to put a medal of some sort on him. And in that ceremony, I'd love to have Mr. Gutierrez and his family there.
All right. Well, I will do my part. You've done your part. You found the hero. Now I will find the family and see if we can get everybody together. I think it's a fantastic thing, and I think, as I've said on the air, it underscores what I believe is a natural fact: is there is no greater force than good in this world than man or woman wearing the uniform of the services of the United States of America.
And I'd add to that all the great Americans that are out there that are paying their taxes, keeping us going. So we appreciate the citizens as much as they appreciate us, I assure you.
All right. Well, I certainly appreciate it, again, spending some time with you over the weekend, pulling you away from family time to goof off with my friends and family. And please tell Captain Grimes I said hello, and a special shout-out to my classmate, Calvo Mark, if you don't mind.
Yeah, will do. I saw Calvo dropping off a vegetable box at the new group commander's house yesterday evening. So he's out there doing the Lord's work.
He sure is. 7:48 in the morning, and looking forward to ironing one of your patches on some of my favorite clothes. There is apparently a patch floating around for this general, and the top of it says America, and at the bottom of it says "Want to hear a story." You've apparently got a catchphrase.
Yeah, I do have a catchphrase. I think I used it on you a couple times when we were together last week.
I don't mind. And anytime you want to kill some time on a Friday morning, you call the radio station or swing by. You got it?
Still there?
All right, I'll see you later. General Polensky, the 36th Wing Commander. Well, I call him Moss because, his full name is Thomas. But around here, nobody says Thomas. We just shorten it up to Moss or just Moss. And so as far as I'm concerned, he's indoctrinated into the whole thing. All right, so you know what to do. It was just signed, the Gutierrez family. I've got no other information. But this is Guam, USA. And, you get that 6 degrees. We are one WhatsApp, maybe 2 WhatsApps away from finding the right guy. So you think about somebody in a Gutierrez clan and reach out to them and say, hey, listen, any of the men in your family that might have almost died on Route 3 had it not been.
I'm calling up all the Gutierrez's in my phone list.
Every single one of them.
Did you choke, bro?
Are you okay? Are you okay? Hey,
did you choke?
You want a sandwich? maybe not. In 10 minutes, it'll be, what time is it going to be? 8 o'clock in the morning. And I got to tell you, I am giddy with anticipation. I'm going to be in this, walking around kind of a high all day because of the debate that's coming up a little bit later on. It is, for me, and I hope I'm not, overplaying this, but for me, it's like Christmas morning. It's like the Super Bowl. I've been waiting for this for a long time, and kind of excited about the opportunity to get out of here and go, rub shoulders with some of my favorite political guys. I don't want to say my favorite Republicans because I've got favorite Republicans and I've got some favorite Democrats as well. And our debates are entertaining, but I don't know if they're going to be as entertaining as today's. And Jerry Roberts is probably right. This is probably not going to be the debate that moves the needle. People that love Trump can't not possibly love him anymore. I don't think there's another level of passion that you could have for this guy and a desire to get rid of Joe Biden as the president of the United States. I don't know. And the people that absolutely love Joe Biden, actually, that's not the case. That's not the case. There's nobody that absolutely loves Joe Biden. You know what it is?
What?
They're just people that hate Donald Trump. That's the deal. And
they'll take anything.
There's one over at the legislature. I hope he shows up in his Trump is a traitor shirt. Right? I hope he comes out with that. I'll just be happy drinking my Michelob Ultra and wearing my red shirt over at the thing. Who's playing around in the Facebook? Donna D, and I'm excited about my get-together over at the venue. Donna D has got a fundy tonight at, is it Harana? Yeah. Harana Lounge, Route 16, out in Harmon. She says Mike Hogs are welcome at the fundraiser. And there's a couple of things going on, right? A couple of people that they're looking to get some money in their pockets for health reasons.
Joanne is back, but she still has that hospital bill to pay because she was there for like a month.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. And then I'm leaving on Sunday, so I need to get some stuff. I need to get some cash before I go.
Right.
Because I'm not done with my second half of the trip is not yet paid for.
Oh, so it's possible you could get to Vienna and not be able to get back?
Yeah. Bye.
Yeah, maybe.
Thanks, Norm.
Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Like, can I just give you money? You got change for a 20? The answer is never yes. You ever notice that when you ask a woman if you got change for it? The answer is never. No, I don't. You're going to have to leave that with me. So Harana on Route 16 out in Harmon. What time does everything start? And is there food?
7. Yes, there's food.
Okay, gotcha. Bunker Online, Gina Maria Tenorio called, talking about what a great act of kindness. Absolutely. Jose Martinez, there's Brennan Fausto, says, go veteran warfighters, Air Force. Big Sister Shelley says, the debate will play at 9 p.m. in Atlanta. Oh, my God. The people in Georgia are going to be drunk by the time they open the first microphones. What's that? Cousin Teddy says Jim Carrey's going to wear a mask and pretend that he's Joe Biden in disguise. My buddy Tom Tanner is another one of these guys. He's Tommy, I love him.
Hey, Tom Tanner.
We've been friends.
Hey, morning, Tom Tanner.
For as long as I can remember. But he's got Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah.
So, Tommy, you got to come and hang out.
Okay.
Hang out with us. Bob Barnett says speed trap near the Mighty Retirement Center. Gunner is online. Got Big Sister Shelley, Johnny Atulai Taitano, Zan Ben Anti Bennett, Lohan Duenas. There's Eric Ada. Jesse Nanetti, Aurelio Pareda, sorry about that. Let's see, Bill Fritton, Mike Grace Bloss, there's John Cameno, Lynn Vince, Borja Polino. Great crowd that we've got here this morning, including Gerard Estoy. Joe Cruz says, no big surprise that it's National Donut Day, and I don't have a donut. Not a glazed twist or a chocolate round, not even a bear claw or an eclair. TF is going on here, gentlemen. Are you hungry? So okay. So
is it? I don't know.
Here's the thing.
It feels like it.
It's Daryl Izama's birthday today.
No.
Yeah. Apparently, and I'm
wow.
Normally, not so much around here. Although when it's my birthday or something, every once in a while, one of the hotels will send something,
a cake
or something.
Cake.
Yeah, chocolatey stuff. I'm not asking, but it's Daryl's birthday, so maybe send a big cake with some Crown Donuts and over on that direction. How about Mike Grace Bloss saying Marines? There's an interesting story, speaking of Marines, in the news here. This must have been written by a Marine, because it starts off with the Marines recently landed their first fixed-wing aircraft on a Reese-certified airfield on the Pacific island of Peleliu, which Jarheads captured after brutal combat in 1944.
Jarheads.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
Yeah, you can.
I can say that?
Yeah.
Appropriately close enough
That's
to
not
Klitsky?
derogatory?
No, I don't know.
Like you can't say devil dog.
I can say devil dog.
Okay.
I was raised to never refer. The Marines can call each other jarheads.
Well, you're still alive.
But
right
if you're
now,
not, not in the Corps, then maybe it's just sir is what you do. KC-130J Super Hercules tanker with the 1st Marine Air Wing landed there Saturday, marking the first time the Corps has landed such an aircraft on the installation since the service recertified the airfield in early June, according to the Marine Corps press release. Engineered Detachment Palau contains engineers from the 7th Engineer Support Battalion, 1st Marines Logistics Groups. The detachment spent the first few months rehabbing the airfield to accommodate large fixed-wing aircraft. I want to say it's about the same thing that they're doing up in Tinian.
That's so cool.
But I don't know anything about what they're doing up in Tinian. I know that they've got runways that they invested in, and they even flew the Enola Gay with the bomb off of Tinian once upon a time. And then they left, and the Tangan and the Swordgrass grew over it, and I understand that it looks almost as good as new. And so they obviously done the same thing in Peleliu down in Palau. Now might be a good time. I don't know if we're going to be able to find Mayor Alec. What is your sense?
I mean, you know what I heard? I think he's in Sweden.
What?
He is in Sweden. He got some kind of like strawberry thing over there.
He is. Don't do the strawberry. Don't do the strawberry mayor thing.
It's all rumors.
Don't get started with that. Cousin Troy is doing FOIAs on travel packages for senators and mayors. So I don't know what's going to be happening with that. I don't know anything. I don't know anything about no strawberries. He writes in the opinion section of the Guam Daily Post, "Time to liberate our minds about America." And using the 80th anniversary of the liberation of Guam. to tell basically his side, give his thoughts. It's funny when I read or hear about the latest generations, I think they're called millennials and Gen Z, think their lives are so difficult. To be fair, everyone has challenges, but when it comes to generational challenges, no one had it harder than the post-war World War II and baby boomer generations, especially those who lived on Guam during the occupation. I remember stories my grandfather would tell me about his life before the war, growing up, humble beginnings, surrounded by family and love, working hard, and sweat equity were not optional, where values like respect for one's elders and for each other mattered. Grandpa would often speak of simpler times, too, farming and fishing and cooking. Neighbors were never strangers, and everyone always looked out for each other and cared for one another. It was a peaceful existence. That's Petey every day, if you ask me, but I digress. Then, Sunday, December 7th, 1941, Japan bombed Pearl Harbor, and America officially became a part of World War II. And there's more to this story. I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's very personal, if you ask me, what he writes here. And so I encourage you to go to the Guam Daily Post and read it for yourself. I don't want to try to, put any of my intonations on this.
He writes like he's going to be the next lieutenant governor.
I just what I've been telling people. Yeah. Absolutely. Pika's best lieutenant governor. Jess.
I can't wait.
Jess Alec. However, I insist, he goes on, I insist that Guam's relationship with America must become stronger and more equal so that we can all enjoy the same resources and opportunities as every other American. As Mayor Jess Alec now advocating for a tighter relationship with the government of the United States of America. Furthermore, if Guam was not a part of the United States, there's a high probability that North Korea, China, and Russia would occupy us, fly their flags, set their central government in Aganya, and then rename it. They go back to Aganya and trigger the hardcore. And then we'd be forced to become citizens of the occupying country while we experience real oppression and real control from these governments. The discussion could continue ad nauseum about Guamanians' United States citizenship. What a blessing to be able to debate the pros and cons without fear of repercussions from an oppressive government. Thank you to the American liberators and to all Guamanians from the post-war generation who fought fiercely for our freedom and for the lives we enjoy today. Life has its challenges, but with the American flag as our backdrop, we can proudly and freely live as Somoros and Guamanians. This comes the same day as there's a couple of stories floating around, including one on NPR, where there's somebody that, I don't know, new generation that is trying to reimagine, if you will, what liberation meant. Were we really being liberated by the Americans against the Japanese? Were we really being liberated from the Japanese and their occupation on Guam, or was that just an opportunity for the United States to take advantage of Guam and all the people that lived here? And I don't know. I just roll my eyes at stuff like that. So when I saw that, and then I saw this thing from Mayor Alec, I'm like, okay. All right. We're going to be okay. It's the Ray Gibson Show at 7:59, almost 8 o'clock in the morning. While the news is playing, do me a favor, guamtime.net. Get your tickets to Throwback number 2. That's July 13th over at Club Zoo. And then go to the PDN and get yourself started on nominating all your favorite radio personalities and radio stations for Pika's Best. It's time for Fox News.
Away. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. President Biden and former President Trump are in Atlanta ahead of the CNN presidential debate, their first square-off of this election cycle.
This is a big night, but there are a lot of unknowns. Will the two men shake hands on stage when they first are called out? We don't know that. How will the new rules play out? There's no live audience, and the mics will be cut unless it's that particular candidate's turn to speak. What we do know is that voters have higher expectations for Trump than Biden tonight. A new national poll from the New York Times and Siena College just released finds that 60% of registered voters say former President Trump would perform very or somewhat well tonight. Only 46% say the same thing about Biden.
Fox Business' Grady Trimble in Atlanta. Tune in to Fox News Democracy 24 special coverage of the CNN presidential debate simulcast tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. The Supreme Court blocking a nationwide bankruptcy settlement for OxyContin maker Purdue Pharma that could have implications for families of opioid victims.
Justices were faced with deciding between keeping a bankruptcy deal approved by all 50 states in which the Sackler family agreed to pay $6 billion to communities dealing with the consequences of opioid addiction, or demanding more responsibility from the family going forward.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz. The ruling does leave the Sackler family open to civil suits. A federal jury has ruled the NFL must pay nearly $4.7 billion in damages for violating antitrust laws in distributing out-of-market Sunday afternoon games on its premium subscription service Sunday Ticket. The NFL maintained it has the right to sell Sunday Ticket under an exemption for broadcasting. It's expected to appeal to the Ninth Circuit and possibly to the Supreme Court. America is listening to Fox News.
Do you or a loved one suffer from severe joint, muscle, or bone pain? Do you currently suffer from autoimmune conditions such as gout, lupus, or rheumatoid arthritis? If so, Guam Regional Medical City is here to help. GRMC is pleased to welcome Dr. Tirakanok, Guam's only rheumatology provider. For more information, visit grmc.gu or contact GRMC's referral office at 671-633-GRMC. That's 671-633-4762.
New benefits are taking flight. Instead of 2 times miles, the United credit card from First Hawaiian Bank is now introducing 3 times miles on every dollar spent on United tickets purchased through United ticketing channels. Apply by August 31st, 2024, and if approved, you can earn 35,000 miles when you spend $1,500 within the first 3 months. Get on board with the First Hawaiian Bank United credit card. It all starts with yes. Terms and conditions apply. To learn more, visit a First Hawaiian branch or go to fhb.com/United.
Intercept more than 100 illegal migrants trying to reach Florida yesterday.
U.S. Border Patrol agents Wednesday reported intercepting at least 118 migrants, men, women, and children of Haitian origin, packed into a tiny sailboat attempting to reach Key West, Florida. They were likely escaping violence in the Caribbean nation.
This is the largest group of migrants that have made landfall during this year. So we're continuing to monitor the situation.
Adam Hoffner with Customs and Border Protection. Each of the migrants was given a medical screening and then processed. Some could even be given future court dates and released, but others could be returned to Haiti. In Miami, Eben Brown, Fox News.
Rapper Killer Mike is expected to avoid charges over an altercation that led to his arrest at the Grammy Awards earlier this year. The Los Angeles City Attorney's Office says Mike, real name Michael Render, successfully completed a hearing process, including community service. More school districts could be joining the movement to ban cell phones.
The nation's largest school system says it's planning on banning the use of cell phones by students during school hours. The announcement by New York City officials comes a week after Los Angeles, the country's second largest school district, voted to prohibit the devices starting in the new year. An Indiana ban begins in the fall. All this coming as experts issue new warnings about social media and children's increasing dependency on mobile phones. Some parents have expressed concern a ban would keep them from reaching their kids in an emergency. The New York City Schools chancellor says an official announcement could come in the next few weeks and go into effect as early as January 2025. Lillian Wu, Fox News.
Doctors now say kids and teens who get pink eye do not need antibiotics, saying the condition usually clears up on its own. I'm Lisa Lacera. This is Fox News.
Boss, I got run over by a forklift.
Boss, I crashed a company truck.
What do we do? Our warehouse and inventory are gone.
Hi, this is Dave Silva from AB Risk Solutions, and it's time for Risk 101. Everything you just heard are examples of risk your businesses can face. Our job is to ask the hard what-if questions and teach you how to reduce your exposures and help you recover if things go sideways. We've got decades of experience in Micronesia working with businesses big and small. Call AB Risk Solutions today at 777-2668 for a free inspection and quote.
AB Risk Solutions, formerly known as Aon.
This summer, don't miss out on a hot opportunity. Save big when you upgrade to Docomo Pacific's Business Unlimited Max. Say goodbye to hefty fees and enjoy free roaming in the U.S., Japan, South Korea, and the Philippines. But that's not all. From now until August 31st, save up to $20 a month on payments. A whopping $600 in overall savings. Plus, receive $150 towards mobile accessories. Some conditions apply. Call 688-2677 to upgrade and maximize your benefits this summer.
It used to be that cancer diagnosis meant off-island trips and complicated therapy. Scary words like chemo and radiation, but things are changing for the better. At Island Cancer Center, we've invested in cutting-edge radiation technology that targets just the cancer, which means lower dosages and fewer side effects with maximum results. Technicians with decades of experience working with state-of-the-art tools are ready to help you and your family now. We know you've got questions. Get the answers now. Visit islandcancercenter.com for more information. That's islandcancercenter.com. Our family treating your family.
Your 8 o'clock local news is brought to you by Family Finance.
Coffee Day, it's 8:06. I'm Donna DeJesus with a look at your local news on The Point. Guam Behavioral Health is providing crucial resources in response to recent reports of fentanyl and other drug misuse on the island. Fentanyl poses serious risks, including overdose deaths. Behavioral Health offers confidential addiction screening and treatment services through their drug and alcohol division. They also provide education and support for recovery and monthly addiction prevention training. A naloxone vending machine outside Behavioral Health offers immediate aid for opioid overdoses. For more information on these services, call 647-5440 or visit their offices in Tamuning. And senators clashed over Bill 175 addressing water issues on the island. Tensions peaked during discussions on an amendment by Senator Sabina Perez aiming to restrict new septic systems near wells with high nitrate levels. Senator Chris Duenas opposed the amendment, likening it to a garage oil spill not contaminating the yard. Senator Telo Taitigui supported regulatory agency involvement, highlighting public concerns displayed by attendees holding signs during the session. More news after this.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they will continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that summer vacation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $4,100 by calling Family Finance in Hagåtña at 671-475-4545 or in Dededo 671-633-4473.
Amphibious Aquatics has launched registration for its Summer Drown-Free Guahan initiative aimed at enhancing water safety on Guam. Scheduled for July 5, 12, and 13 at PIC, the initiative offers sessions targeting youth aged 5 to 17 and adults over 18 who are non-swimmers. Each 30-minute session focuses on basic water safety and awareness to reduce drowning risks. Registration is available online at amphibiousguam.com. And the Department of Agriculture is hosting a job fair tomorrow from 10 to 4 at the GPO Center Court. Many positions are open, including biologists, conservation officers, and agricultural technicians. These positions support Guam's agriculture, food security, and environmental conservation efforts. The event is free and open to the public. And those are your top stories. Now back to Ray with weather.
All right, well, thanks very much. With regards to a story I was mentioning last hour about the Marines in Peleliu and reconstruction of an old World War II landing strip there and the use of the word jarhead. Stephen Blake.
Real guy?
Yes, real guy. Correctly points out that I say Jigo Jarhead every week. At least once or twice. I will.
Right over our head.
Must be okay.
Is it cool though?
What's that?
Is it all right?
Oh yeah.
What does it
the
mean,
Jigo
though?
Jarhead.
How come only they
Jarhead.
can say it?
Yeah.
Because are their heads shaped like jars? I mean, why? I don't get it.
Who's got a picture of Klitsky?
I do.
Where's a picture of Klitsky? It's something about how
I have
it
many
starts.
pictures of Bob
It starts
Klitsky.
with the neck and it goes straight up into the fade of a perfect Marine haircut.
Okay. That's
High
only
and
Marines.
tight.
I don't
What's
know.
a high and
I've
tight
never had
haircut?
the privilege of being a Marine. When I was a kid, I always wanted. I don't know why. When I was a kid, GI Joes were popular. So So they there was a GI Joe outfit that you could buy like at Diana's or something, and it was basically olive drab.
Olive drab
with the hat. And you had a round hat that you would wear. But that wasn't the Marine outfit that I wanted. There's pictures of who's a guy down in Agate the commissioner. You know what I'm talking about?
Gamboa.
Yeah, Roy.
Roy.
There's pictures of Roy's boy in a Marine outfit.
Oh, and
That's what I wanted growing up.
Class A
yeah,
uniform.
the Class A with the stripe and
that's
everything.
so sharp,
That's
man.
the one that I wanted growing
Not a
up.
wrinkle.
Yeah, and now I'm 62. Well, what are the chances somebody's going to give me one of those now?
Heavy
Oh,
starch,
yeah.
sir.
Stolen Valor
Heavy
Gibson.
starch.
Mostly sunny in the forecast today. Highs about 89 degrees. Winds east 9 to 14 miles per hour. I got partly cloudy in the forecast for tonight with overnight lows of about 78 degrees. If that changes, that is because according to JT, they're seeding the clouds with aluminum sulfides, and that's why we've got partly sunny skies coming in tomorrow with highs near 89 degrees. East southeast winds up to about 10 miles an hour. There's mostly cloudy in the forecast for tomorrow night. Sunday, it says partly sunny, but I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed. The energy and the love. And that patriotic zeal that I'm sure we're all going to have after the debate today stays with us all the way through the weekend, and will bring nothing but sunshine and no clouds in the sky on Sunday. If it does, that would be fantastic. Highs about 88 degrees and overnight lows Sunday night of about 77. Rip currents are a concern, so be careful if you're out around the fringes of the reef here. Portuguese Man-O-War, especially on the eastern side of the island. Sunrise this morning was at 5:57 and will sunset at 6:52 p.m. There it is, news and weather together on The Point.
You know, life shouldn't be this hard for those who live here. That's why I have a vision for lower prices on airfare, more affordable housing, better health care, and moving veteran services from Hawaii to Guam. I will cut through the red tape and get Guam a role in the economic expansion in the Asian Pacific. With more federal support for infrastructure, a 100% screen to stop illegal drugs, and new high-paying jobs, we can turn Guam's unique position into lasting prosperity. I'm Ginger Cruz. I approve this ad, and I humbly ask for your vote.
Cool off with Wendy's Triple Berry Frosty, the newest sweet summer treat. Balancing tart and sweet notes, taste the freshest fruit flavors of strawberries, blackberries, and raspberries. Transport your senses to a cool summer vacay with this smooth, creamy, and vibrant treat. Don't miss out and get it while you can. Head on over to Frosty Time and choose wisely. Choose Wendy's Triple Berry Frosty.
Where? 813, Ray Gibson Show. Portions brought to you by the guys over at APL, American President Lines. What are they doing? Global presence in a local home? Yeah, try to keep that in your head, but keep it in your head while you're doing some grocery shopping tomorrow morning over at Cost You Less. They've got a food drive going on, so get whatever it is that you're going to get for your weekend, or your barbecue for the 4th of July, and then get a little bit extra, and then give that to the guys over at APL. And the reason why is because they're going to take what you give them and give it to the VFW so that we can have a bigger, better, more exciting OMG 4th of July celebration at the Governor Joseph Flores Memorial Park. I'll get you more details on that because I know there's a huge crowd of people that listen to this station that are fans of the VFW 4th of July. So details on that on the way. But make sure that you do your part to help APL help out VFW. It's 814. Ray Gibson Show also brought to you by Kim and Ron over at Security Title. Just a couple of great people, and they're in the business of title searches, title securities, making sure everything is all right. And if they do find a blemish that needs to get taken care of, they're usually very, very good about getting that information, those tactical resources to you. So if you got a real estate transaction at work right now, make sure you spend some time on the phone with Kim and or Ron at Security Title.
Real Talk Radio is back. Welcome to The Point, Guam's FM News Talk Superstation.
I don't know how it happened, Real Joe.
What happened?
You were complaining online about the lack of donuts today, and then all of a sudden...
Is it National Donut Day?
I don't know.
Oh, man. I don't know. For some reason, I thought it was. And I was like, man, I can't believe I don't have a donut. And all of a sudden, there's donuts out there. But who did it? That's the question. Maybe it was the Gutierrez family.
Which I still don't have a connection to.
Yeah, man.
I got no connection to the Gutierrez family. Somebody whose life was saved. He was choking on the side of the road on Route 3, and a life was saved by a young Air Force Red Horse guy. Technical Master Sergeant.
Master Sergeant Snyder.
Yeah. And they're going to make a big deal about him on base. It has been recorded. And there's going to be a big deal of medal, something like that. But it would be nice if the guy he saved was on the stage as well.
Of course, yeah.
Because now Now, there's a debt of honor.
Oh,
Yeah.
Must be.
Well, you saved my life. I'm indebted to you now for life.
Forever.
Isn't that the way it works?
So every time he comes back to Guam, he's got to check that dude.
That's right.
You got to stop by, man, and
I'm
eat
indebted
food.
to you. You're coming to my house. We will make you half Guamanian because I'm going to feed you Guamanian food from now until the end of time. At any rate, so a Gutierrez family member is what we're looking for. Ask around and see what you can find. I'm going to send a copy of that out to Governor Gutierrez and see if maybe it's somebody that he knows in his family. But I am looking for special events for today, and I don't see the word donut in there at all.
I'm sorry, man.
And I don't know who this is going to apply to. It says drive your Corvette to work day.
All right.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Everybody got one of those. Listen, go to NissanGuam.com on the World Wide Web and see what you can be driving to work Monday. I'm not going to put any pressure on anybody, but you got time right now to get online and go check out NissanGuam.com. All the different rides they've got, all the current inventory of automobiles, trucks, and sedans, SUVs, that kind of thing, that they want to get in your driveway. So they've taken it. You do the test drive, figure out which one you want, and then look at the sticker, and then imagine it's $10,000 cheaper because that's exactly what they're doing. And then the cost of ownership, well, you got to pay back the bank, but they got a deal here for 4.99% APR. You got to check it out. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to your family. Check it out today at NissanGuam.com. It's 8:17 on the Ray Gibson Show, and I've got the the Fives debate bingo, and I'm thinking about seriously printing out one of these things to see just how many of these steps and how many of these I can fill in at the debate day. We've got Malarkey. Soul of the nation. There's one of my favorites when I hear Democrats talking about the soul of the nation. There's Bidenomics, the cheap fake, and they've also got Cannibals Ate Uncle Bozy on this one as well. So obviously that one is moving around and is one of those things that has taken on, as they do, a life of their own. 8:18 in the morning. My very close, very dear personal friend, shockingly good electrician. It's Kellis. What's going on, Kellis?
Shockingly.
Shockingly, oh wow! Thank you very much. I heard you talking earlier about this debate, and you were talking about how there's Michelob Ultra and everything. You do realize that you did not mention the Bud Light.
I don't. I'm sure they have Bud Light there, but it's
because there will be some people that identify as a Bud Light drinker.
Uh-huh.
And if you don't mention that, there's so
you think the people will think that I'm based one way or the other if I don't I'm sure there's going to be Bud Light there.
You might be Bud Light phobic.
I don't know. I'm kind of over all of that stuff, and the go woke go broke thing has done what it needed to do, and it awoke the sleeping giants, the sleeping lions out there. But I think they've all moved on to something else. Who are they going to go after now? United for kicking that lady off the airplane because she misgendered a tranny flight attendant?
So I didn't see the video. Is the tranny flight attendant like a big burly barrel? Bushy-faced person that identifies?
It might have been. It might have been. I've only seen stills. I've not seen the video of the. Somebody actually filmed the thing, but I haven't seen it.
But yeah, I mean, just because I have my 70, 80-year-old, invalid, grandfather with me, I should still be focusing not on the person that I'm taking is looking at, and then. My question is, before he spoke, did he ask the person their pronouns? Because evidently that is the greatest sin of all now, to ask the pronouns. But they don't have to ask you.
No. And clearly the woman she's apparently recently widowed. She's holding her baby and escorting her 75-year-old mother from San Francisco down to Austin. Has got other things on her mind than trying to keep this guy in the center of the known universe. You know what I mean?
But you do realize that is the greatest sin of all by not focusing on them. They, that's why it is. If you don't focus on them, who are you? So So that's what I was. And so the whole reason I was calling is for that.
Yep. And I appreciate it. I appreciate. I'm sure there will be. But now,
that I'm electrocuting myself and all this type of stuff.
no, that's not what I meant when I said shockingly good. You are among my go-tos. There's a very, very small list. You know this, Kel, of people that I trust with my panels, and I will let you mess around with my breakers anytime.
Okay.
All right, buddy.
I gotta get going.
I'll see you pretty soon. 888-8255-888-TALK.
Yeah, he's the only guy that touched my switch.
Absolutely. Believe that, man. 821. And so with regard to Bud Light, it actually wasn't all that bad, I think, for the beer here. And it's the assumption, I think, especially among hardcore conservatives or whatever, is that if I see something in media, I assume everybody in the world has seen it as well.
Yeah.
And feels exactly the same way as I do about it.
No.
And no, nothing could be further from the truth. And it is just, I'm sure for other people, it's just as annoying when we start talking about, well, you've got to use my pronouns because I'm the center of the world, and you've got to put up with me and everything I say. You must use my pronouns, and so maybe I'm the same way when I say, well, you must understand why I feel this way about this story or this candidate or this party or this trend or something like that, because I assume that you see the same things that I do and respond the same way. And then it always strikes me every once in a while when I say, hey, did you see that meme with the electric vehicle charging station and the diesel generator behind it? Did you see that meme?
Yeah.
And it says, we are the dumbest species on the planet. And people go, no, I actually haven't seen that meme. I don't have a lot of social media time. As far as I'm concerned, I don't need that kind of negativity in my life. So I just kind of check out and move along to somebody else. What about you? Did you see the meme?
Yeah, I did.
What about those not Chemtrail? See, now, after that phone call with JT, now I'm going to correct myself. I will never call them contrails again, because the guys that are deep into that conspiracy theory will jump through the radio and say, it's a chemtrail.
It's chemicals.
Yeah, you keep dead naming them. That's the dead name. You're dead naming them. That's another thing that we're supposed to know is what pronouns to use and what name not to call them. You know, from back when they were little boys. And if you still remember their name from when they were a little boy, if you use that name, then you're dead naming them, right?
That's from the past. That's a ghost.
I'm sure I'm ruining somebody's wave. Anyway, 8:23 in the morning. Donna D with celebrity birthdays, things like that coming up a little bit later on. There is, and I've mentioned this a couple of times before, because it's amusing to me, to the degree that many things are amusing to me, is the number of people that will proclaim just how tough things are. This is a tough time, man. There's just not enough money floating around. Everything's expensive. I can't make ends meet. I got to make a decision on whether I'm going to pay this power bill or what about medication and all that stuff. And then there will be like a big event coming, like a mixed martial arts fight. You know, tickets like $500 each, right? When you get the full bottle service and things like that, or you get the get-togethers. I'll give you an example. There's a sold-out concert that's coming up, and the original tickets for those shows were $75. And then my daughter says, but me and my friends are going to the VIP show, and that's $150. And I'm not going to
drop in the bucket, Rockefeller.
Whatever.
Come on,
whatever.
man.
I don't have as many opportunities as some fathers do to be able to spoil my little
We'll
girl.
sell some land.
Yes, exactly. So I said, okay, $150, no problem. Got the deal and bought the tickets. And thinking, I wonder how many other people are going to buy tickets to watch this Maoli concert.
It's going to be hot.
$150 each. And I thought, okay, well, let's see what happens. And I'm glad I got her the ticket when I did, because like the next day they were sold out of VIP tickets. And so the thinking that I got here is maybe it was COVID that did it, but the decisions that people are making now about money, seems to me now, have nothing to do with paying all the bills at once or whatever. Is I'm going to have as much fun as I possibly can. And I'll eventually pay the bill. We learned it from the government. We learned it from the government. Deficit spending in the government, And the theory is that, you know, the bill will never come due. We will always be at this big banquet, and the bill will never come due. Another generation will pay the bill for us. Well, another generation will clear the debt for this generation of government spending. But in real life, you spend too much money. You spend like a Rockefeller, and it might bite you in the butt, right? Not if you put it on the credit card. I got friends that otherwise proclaim
their money.
That's it. I
spend their money, Ray.
I have friends who otherwise proclaim that life is hard, and they're always embarking on 16 or 17 side hustles. And the reason why is because they want to be able to travel to Egypt and ride a camel in front of the pyramids. You know,
take a photo.
There's a bucket list of things, and everybody wants to go down to Bali, and everybody wants to go and climb Mount Fuji
in Bali.
Yeah, ride the elephant in Bali. I want to have monkeys steal my purse at whatever monkey place there is in the Philippines, and they will put everything on a credit card and never ever pay it. There's a name for this. They've come up with a name for it. It's called, and I'm surprised I didn't invent this. It's called Funflation. It is called Funflation, and there is a generation of people now, and there's always been.
You had me at fun.
I just think it's more acceptable. I think it's normalized now.
Yeah.
We're going to do all of this. We're going to have crazy fun. I'm going to jet set. I'm going to fly. I'm going to buy new clothes every week. It's going to be crazy.
It's what we do.
Yeah, and you know, God is going to. I will hold out my outstretched arms, and God will put money in my hands. And if He doesn't, what the hell? I put this on a credit card. Eventually, you'll run out of credit, maybe. Because you know what happens when you run out of credit and you can declare bankruptcy, and they will start sending you credit cards right away because they know you can't default again for another 7 years. That's the way
you
it
get a
works.
clean slate.
Yes, that's the way it works. And there are people that are getting really good at it. You know, I'm anymore. I tell people, you know, you and I drinking together, and you're going to get all dressed up. You're going to go Paul's Tailors and get yourself a nice suit and a gown so you can walk in and look all fancy over at the gala. Here, you're going to go buy those high water pants and the pretty brown shoes with no socks.
I like those.
You're gonna run around and tell me that you don't have any money? Funflation is what it's called. It's out there, and I might spend a little bit more time talking about this a little bit later on. In the meantime, it's where are we? 8:28 in the morning. 2 arrested after 27 fuel tanks reportedly drilled. There is not
got skills.
enough room in hell for these people. You know,
it's a family affair.
I'm trying hard not to be softy on crime. These guys here, if there was ever a time
Sanford and Son
that there needs to be an example made of criminals, it's these guys here, because it's not just I stole your gas. It's I drilled a hole in your gas tank to get the gas, to steal from you, which means that as the owner of the car, what do we now need to do?
You're out of gas tank and gas.
What's
you need to replace it.
What's that going to cost? What's that going to cost?
Maybe
Is that covered by the insurance company? Can we call one of the insurance guys and find out if something like that is covered? I mean, will that theft be honored? So all of a sudden, I got you know, my deductible is going to get jacked up by $500 because it cost me $250 to replace a gas tank on the car, and that's not easy to do.
No,
don't you got to?
Then you're inconvenienced.
Yeah,
you don't have a car.
I'm trying to think of what I mean. You got to take the whole old one out and put the new one. Is there any welding involved in that? Do you know?
I wouldn't do it. I'd get a new tank.
Oh no, well that's what I mean. But do we weld anything to get a new tank in there?
No, it's probably just bolt.
Can we just stick
there? Yeah.
Can I just some tape
and use a water gallon?
Yeah. Can I? What's that stuff?
We'll run the hose into the water gallon full of gas.
What's the one with the guy? They sell it at Benson, that tape.
Flex Seal.
Flex Seal.
That'll save everybody.
I can put Flex Seal on that?
Yeah, man. Forgive those guys. Let them out. Set them free.
You know, I love the guys over at Benson, but I got to give you a warning. All of the miracles that you see in the Flex Seal commercials.
Yeah.
That's television, man. That's
We're
Hollywood.
Sorry, man.
It does not work. I was hoping to avoid having to call my cousin Jessica Barrett over at Barrett Plumbing to come to the house and repair. It was just a piece of PVC. and the glue on the PVC come out, but I'm not good enough to work those kinds of things.
That purple stuff.
Yeah. So I needed to put new purple stuff in it. I'm not good at it. So I figured I'd give the work to the guys over there. But that was after already trying to use the Flex Seal on it. And the Flex Seal, I wrapped it around the PVC a couple of times. Yeah.
You overdid it.
Yeah, and then I turned on the water, and it started squirting out from the sides. It's squirting out from the sides. And I'm going, all right, maybe I need to do something else here.
They got you, too.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, I got that. So I got a half a roll of Flex Seal tape over at the house. I'm hoping to repair, the gas tanks with what's left of it. Bottom of the hour, Donna D's got the last big look at news and headlines. On the time that we have after that, we'll go over some celebrity birthdays and special events. Not sure why there's donuts here, because it's not donut day anytime soon, but I'm not going to stare that gift horse in the mouth. Donna, with news after these.
It's the return of Pageants on Guam. Join us on Friday, July 5th at the UOG Fine Arts Theater for the Miss Guam Curve Pageant. Support your favorite contestant as they compete to become the next Guam delegate to represent our island in international pageants. You can get your tickets from any of the contestants or purchase at the door. Special thanks to the stations of Choice Broadcasting, Bank of Guam, and Congressman James Moylan.
This summer, don't miss out on a hot opportunity. Save big when you upgrade to Docomo Pacific's Business Unlimited Max. Say goodbye to hefty fees and enjoy free roaming in the U.S., Japan, South Korea, and the Philippines. But that's not all. From now until August 31st, save up to $20 a month on payments. A whopping $600 in overall savings. Plus, receive $150 towards mobile accessories. Some conditions apply. Call 688-2677 to upgrade and maximize your benefits this summer.
And there's some good celebrity birthdays today. Who's David Allen Grier? Why is that name familiar? It's his birthday is Sunday.
In Living Color.
Oh.
Yeah, he's one of those comedians. It's kind of short, kind of
chubby. One of the older ones. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we'll go over that and a couple others. All right. In the meantime, 8:33, Ray Gibson Show, Funflation. Think about that. Next time that you're confronted with something you really want to go to and you go, man, I just don't have the money for this. So what? So put it on a credit card, borrow some money from somebody, and go get those $500 tickets and get two of them to see you and your hot babe girlfriend, and make sure that she's dressed better than anybody else in the place. So
That's a future problem.
Remember that picture of all these people floating around in the top of the Dusatani during just before COVID?
I remember.
Yeah, you remember
the beautiful people.
The beautiful people.
God, I love them.
Yeah, beautiful people. Oh, yes. So make sure you dress better than they do at these events. It's 8:33, Donna D with that last big look at news and headlines for a couple of weeks. Safa, Donna, what's going on?
17-year-old John Apollonio is facing 25 years in prison after a crash that killed a 17-year-old girl. He will be tried as an adult on charges including vehicular homicide and DUI. Police say Apollonio admitted to drinking vodka before getting behind the wheel without a license, reaching speeds of 78 miles per hour. And multiple GDOE schools were vandalized this week. Police are investigating break-ins at Finnegodson Elementary, Mauricio Elementary, Talafofo Elementary, and GW High School. They're asking anyone with information to call GPD or submit anonymous tips to Guam Crime Stoppers. And cops will be directing traffic at the Route 1 and 10A intersection by Airport Road all day from 7 in the morning to 6 o'clock at night. GPD spokesperson Sergeant Paul Tapau says traffic direction will take place at these times daily until repairs to the traffic light are completed. Motorists are asked to proceed with caution and to obey all instructions by the officers. And that was your last look at local headlines on The Point. Now back to Ray.
Oh, my God, you're pulling a Biden. You're doing a Biden thing.
The beautiful people.
The beautiful people.
Beautiful people. I'm still on that, that's why.
Oh, my God, that's borderline scary, the way she's doing that.
Don't you know that song?
No, you know what?
Oh, you don't? Okay.
No, the reason why there's a borderline scary in here is because it's Kathy Bates' birthday.
Oh,
I can see Kathy Bates.
From the Bates Hotel?
No, that's Norman Bates.
Misery, the movie
Oh,
Misery.
my favorite.
Yeah. With the
Where she
little
beats his
glass
legs?
models, and then she takes a sledgehammer and cripples the guy without anesthetic or anything like that.
Who was that, Newman? Or
she was also in
was
Titanic.
that Paul Newman?
Oh, yeah,
No.
she was the
James
unsinkable
Caan.
Molly
James
Brown
Caan.
in
Yeah, she was-
Titanic.
yes.
She's so evil.
Yes.
I have an auntie that looks just like her.
It's that scene. So there's an auntie that looks like Kathy Bates. Don't let her sneak up on you in the middle of the night, right? Hey, oh my God, that's auntie. You got a sledgehammer there? There's that scene. There's two scenes that I'm getting sweaty palms just thinking about it right now. There's two scenes that get me that way, a little bit gushy. That scene from Misery, and the first time I saw it had a visceral impact on me. It's like watching Exorcist. Yeah,
you felt it.
If I watch it again, I leave during that section of the show because I can't deal with the visual. The other one was a Mel Gibson movie, and I think it was a conspiracy theory movie, or something along those lines. He was going after the mafia, and they sat him down in a chair and tied his feet down, and then went after his feet with a hammer.
No.
I remember.
You remember that movie?
Yeah.
Again, visceral,
Get Carter
absolutely
or something like
visceral response, and I cannot. Once it's seen, I can't unsee it. There's the only scene like that, there's a couple of scenes in Temptation of the Christ, or the Passion of the Christ. That I just cannot watch. Anyway, so happy birthday to Kathy Bates. She's 76 years old. But I skipped over one guy, and I got to make sure that I honor him appropriately because I think he is the king of funny. And there is no prince of funny. There's him at the top, and there will never be anybody else that will do it as well as Mel Brooks. He's 98 years old.
98 and still kicking.
I think he might still be kicking. He's working on Blazing Saddles too. We're not done offending people, and that is testimony. That right there is testimony to his incredible skills as a comedian to be able to take something as risque and with so many opportunities to microaggress all the easily microaggressed and put it all in that movie, and doing it with basically with some of the funniest people in the world of black comedy. That movie is outstanding. I recently saw him. And there's another great Mel Brooks story is his relationship with Gene Wilder. There's a documentary floating around, I think, on Netflix about Gene Wilder and his incredible life, and what a great story it is, and all the different ways that he and Mel Brooks had worked together and conspired on things like Blazing Saddles and a bunch of other stuff. I mean, Mel Brooks, like I said, king of funny, 98 years old, and also reminds me about one of my other favorite actors who is also up in his 90s. It's still running around, still making headlines, is Dick Van Dyke. Remember from
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Exactly.
Chitty Bang Bang.
And Mary Poppins, the way he used to say it. John Elway, the great NFL quarterback, is 64 years old. And Mary Stuart Masterson from Benny and June.
I remember her from
Blind Spot?
No, Some Kind of Wonderful. Do you remember that movie?
Barely. 50, just one of those things. I'm sure I've got it on DVD, on Blu-ray at the house. She is 58 years old. John Cusack from Say Anything, right? Holding up the boombox, and Peter Gabriel playing in the background. But also did an outstanding job in a movie called Con Air. And if you need a reminder of how great that was, go and find one of Doug Moylan's billboards inspired by the movie Con Air. And which some people say, that's racist, man. No, it's not. They're the only people that we can really deport around here. So they're the ones with the pictures on it. Isn't there one floating around? There's a meme floating around with a guy that has been, now I'm on Doug's new billboard or something like that. We should do that. We should add some of the deportables face. Like that guy that robbed that store in Tamuning. The one that was already deported but somehow found his way back. Yeah, we gotta make sure his picture's on that. John Cusack. Who else is got Elon Musk is 53 today.
Oh,
happy birthday!
53.
He's only 53. Oh my God!
Goodness.
No, you know what? Just
You're
another
such a
signal.
failure.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Regardless of our accomplishments, people that look up to us and our talents or whatever it is that we do on a daily basis. Yeah, you're okay, but you're still not Elon Musk at 53 years old. Can you think of any 53, right? And then the guy yesterday, Julian Assange, 52 years old.
Oh, he looks old.
He looks old. I mean, in prison to do that to you. But yeah, it's one of those things. Happy 53rd birthday to Elon Musk. Special events, drive your Corvette to work. Insurance Awareness Day. Body Piercing Day. Real Joe?
I've got them all.
Donna D?
Prince Albert.
International Caps Lock Day.
Bro, stop yelling.
I had to.
Ceviche Day. All right, we need to clear this up. This is a Jose Martinez moment. Can we please explain to people that we got to stop referring to certain kinds of Kelligwins as ceviches? Yeah, Kelligwin
Isn't that
and
the same
ceviche.
thing?
Fish Kelligwin?
It's the same, right? Ceviche.
We'll get a lot of these guys.
I think it's fancier. It's got more
There
colors.
should be a debate. Like
sounds
right after,
fancy.
yes, we'll get somebody to make Kelligwin and somebody to do ceviche, and then we'll figure out what the difference is. It's Cream Tea Day, Food Truck Day, Tapioca Day, Paul Bunyan Day, and Tau T-A-U Day is in the magic of Tau. Gary Busey from Lethal Weapon is 80 years old.
Tamari?
Brain damage.
You think? Yeah, I think so.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Fred Grandy from The Love Boat.
Maybe.
Don't ask me which one he was.
Stubing.
I don't think so.
No,
Fred Grandy.
Isaac the bartender.
Wasn't he the one that went on to Congress?
Yes.
Gopher.
Gopher.
I'm sure I've got it wrong. I always question myself.
Doctor?
Yeah, I'm just always going to question myself because everybody knows I'm no good at this. Nicole Scherzinger from Pussycat Dolls is 46 years old. So Saturday special events, Bartender and Mixologist Day, and then Sunday's going to be Hangover Day. It is the Feast of Saints Peter and Paul over the weekend.
Oh, my favorite Beatles.
Well,
Camera Day, Celebrate Your Marriage Day, Waffle Iron Day, and then we get into the Sunday celebrations. David Allen Greyer, 68 years old. Mike Tyson is 58 years old. And my favorite scene of Mike Tyson is in the movie The Hangover. Right?
Oh,
when they go to his place and he's got that song In the Air Tonight. And he's like, okay, hold on.
That guy out.
All boys know the drum riff on In the Air Tonight. Who else is birthday for Olympic swimmer Michael Phelps is 39 years old.
What?
And Sean Marquette from the Goldbergs. Don't ask me which one he is 36. And Fantasia from American Idol is 40. And that's it. What do we got for other special events? It's Descendants Day on Sunday. International Asteroid Day.
Very nice.
Remember that game?
There's a Klingon joke there.
Yeah.
Sailor Moon Day on Sunday.
That's cute.
National Organization for Women Day and Social Media Day on Sunday. I'm going to be doom scrolling the entire time unless I can get myself into someplace that's got, I don't know, something like some sunshine. It's 8:43 in the morning already. Donna D. And a fundraiser for her pals tonight over at Club Harana on Route 16.
Lounge, yeah.
Harana Lounge, Route 16.
It's next to Brood Awakenings. Do you know where that coffee shop is?
Yeah, I do.
Right next
and
to
I know
it.
where the new Brood Awakenings is going to be.
Is there going to be girls there?
There's going to be a new Brood Awakenings at the old Pokey Fry, which used to be the old Club Cosmos. There's certain men that need that.
If you know, you know.
Exactly.
Wow.
So I don't know. I know they're working on it. They got the paper up on the glass here, and every time I pass by, I try to take a. I tried to pass by last night, but I wanted to pass by Jollibee and Agania to see if they were like knockdown, drag out, super crowded.
I got a pie
It's hard to
yesterday.
tell. It's hard to tell because they changed out the parking area from when it used to be Shirley's and
Sizzler?
and Sizzler, yeah. So they've changed it out, and I know that there's like two drive-throughs. They got a double-headed drive-through in there. So I couldn't really tell, but it looked like the parking area was full. So I'm not sure how that was. So you didn't get no Funko Pop for Donna. Okay. Anyway, have a good time at the thing. Good time in Vienna. Lots of pictures. Send them into the meme machine so we can see what you're up to.
Okay.
All right, gotcha. And have a good fundraiser tonight so you can buy a ticket back home. It's 8:45. More Ray Gibson Show coming up.
Hey there, party people.
It's me, Ray Gibson. Get ready to rewind the clock and groove to the beat to yesteryear. The Throwback Part 2 is back and better than ever, bringing you all the hits that make you feel young again. Join us Saturday, July 13th at Club Zone Nightclub in Tumon as DJ Daryl Izama spins the ultimate throwback playlist. The 70s, 90s keep you on the dance floor all night long. Plus, we're doing another incredible cash drop and some great throwback t-shirts. Don't miss out on the nostalgia trip of the year. Grab your friends, dress to impress in your retro best, and dance the night away at Throwback Part 2. Doors open at 8:30. See you on the dance floor. Get your tickets now online at guamtime.net. They're $20 plus taxes and fee, but it'll be more at the door, so get it online now. Throwback Part 2, brought to you by the local Grindhouse in Barragata, 76 Circle K, BBG Automotive, and the stations of choice broadcasting. Throwback Part 2. Relive the memories on Saturday, July 13th, 8:30 at Club Zoo in Tumont. Be there or be square. To the countdown, 8:45. Ray Gibson Show on the screen from the meme machine. It's a screen cap of somebody. Oh, it's Neats, who's there's apparently a pre-game show for the debate playing on CNN. I think I think all of the networks are doing some kind of a pre-game. I saw this. Also saw on Secret Service on Twitter. I saw it's a shot of him. I think coming off of Air Force One or maybe Marine One. And the notation, the point that the guy that posted it was making was, wow, Biden's got quite the swagger. He's walking around. He's making his way to go down.
He's got a pep in his step.
Yeah, exactly. Can you imagine? It's like,
way to go, doctors.
Bro, our president he's tweaking right now.
Yeah, man, just hold on a little longer. You can do it, bro.
Vibrating to the same frequency as fluorescent lights. You know that feeling that you get after you've had like 3 Monster Energy drinks, and then you walk into Payless.
Your face is all tingly.
Yeah, and everything's vibrating. Yeah, that's what it's going to be like.
Go get him, Joe Biden.
It's going to be a fun debate. I'm telling you. I can hardly wait to get there. Ray Gibson in studio. If you're watching on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, The Point, etc., I'm wearing a red shirt in honor of the red wave that is going to take place, and some of it will be led by presidential re-election with President Donald J. Trump coming back in at number, what is it going to be, 47? Is that the number that he's shooting for in the next round? Anyway, so we got that. That is something I'm really, really looking forward to. And you know what? Here's the thing. It's going to be, I think, when it's all done, 12:30, 1 o'clock this afternoon. I got a feeling that I will feel empty because there's nothing else going on until the next one. It's like the people up in Saipan with that Julian Assange thing. You know, for just a second, for just a few minutes, out of a long week for people, they were at the center of the known universe. Kind of like that flight attendant at that United flight that kicked the lady out because she used the wrong pronoun. Now it's my turn to be the center of the known universe, and you have to bend to my will, use my pronouns, or I'll kick you off the airplane. Anyway, it'd be fun to see what the United guys have to say about it.
Like a one-night stand.
Exactly. So you got the same thing with Saipan. I got a feeling I'm going to feel that way as well. 888-8255, 888-TALK. Clyde Frog. Don't just spray them, bury them. That's must be one of those. That must be one of those jokes about contrails. I'm sorry, chemtrails. Rose Official says, "Hello, host. Nice to have you there." Tiggle Bitty's online.
Morning,
Tiggle Bitty's. She's just as excited as I am. Using one of my favorite Donald Trump phrases, "Kofefe," which we still don't really know what it means, right? Is there anybody that did we ever get a definition of what that probably ended up meaning? Because the answer is I don't know. 848-888-8255. A couple of stories that I've got in front of me. I think we're probably going to go into the small talk portion of the program a little bit earlier than normal. There just isn't all that much news happening. The latest and greatest that we've got on anything that has, honestly, an impact on your life is that the police and airport police are watching the intersection over at Northgate. That's it. That might be the big story.
Police.
Legislature in session, and they've got a number of bills that have made it to the third reading file. And according to guys that we talked to yesterday, a number of bills that did not make it yet to third reading. So what's going to happen? And what about veto overrides and all of that kind of thing? I mean, there's a whole lot to expect from this last voting opportunity in the month of June. From the legislature, and I just don't know what it's going to be what it's going to end up looking like, and what measures the governor is already expecting to either likewise veto or sign into law. And who is the governor this week? Is it Phil?
Yeah, the governor of Guam.
Yeah.
Are all the governors gone? They're on trips?
Well, I think Lulian Guerrero went to Camp David to help prep Biden
for the debate.
For the debates, I hear a lot of. I'm hearing a lot of acting
Japan?
Governor Tenorio. What? He's in Japan?
I don't know. I'm guessing.
Okay.
It's a great place to be right now.
No, I know. But if he's there and the governor's not in town, that means that Speaker Terlai is the governor, right? Yeah. Would be acting governor. I don't know. We'll work through that. Ceviche Bunker says has tomatoes and cilantro. We make with fish or shrimp. Kelligwin is usually no tomatoes or cilantro. We instead use grated coconut, green atuns, etc., etc. Thank you very much for that. California stop. LOL says Bunker. Who else is playing around? Jose Martinez. Dave Duenas telling you to have a safe weekend. Ray Perez. Ana Delgado. Oh, this is in response to somebody saying it's about time they direct traffic because we can't follow the law when it's blinking lights. All drivers should proceed with caution, and if it's completely out, it automatically becomes a four-way stop. To which Anna says, a lot of drivers don't know how to handle a four-way stop. They create four-way stops at the stupidest places. I am not a four-way stop guy. And it's always been one of those things. I get a little bit of I get anxiety. Yeah. I get performance anxiety. You know the intersection where the old police station and the post office in Agana?
I do.
Yeah.
That four-way there?
There's a four-way there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you tell you tell the guy
I just
go
tell
ahead
everybody
and
go because I don't know
and then they're like, you go ahead and go.
I blink my light at you like I'm hyper, like I'm having a heart attack or something like that. Yeah. Look, I just want to get to Crowns. I just want to pick up my tank top is in. I just want to go to Crowns and get my stuff. Yeah. So, but even before that, here I'll give you another memory of Ray Gibson's performance anxiety. Anytime I have to order for somebody in the drive-thru. Anytime somebody says, "Hey Ray, can we go to the drive-thru over at Burger King?" and I get in the line, and when it's time to make the order, I know what I want, and then they say, "What do you want?" And I'm like, "Okay, give it to me one item at a time. Yeah. Don't hit me with 20 different things because I can't do this." The other driving performance anxiety I had, and I had it for a long time. I was so glad when they finally ended up putting a traffic light there. So I could get rid of my, so I didn't have to deal with my driving performance anxiety.
Where at?
Do you remember before there was an intersection where there were traffic lights at the intersection where the Payless is in Tamuning?
I do.
Lupang Cove over here, Payless over there, Jonestown ahead of us, Hospital ahead of us.
Yeah.
Do you remember before when they did not have a light there?
That was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. I would drive out of my way to avoid that light. I'd go through the village. I'd figure out all the back ways. You know, you can get past Gibson's and come out over by
it's the ultimate
Dunkas.
test.
Yeah. I was that was me. I as much as I possibly could. Anyway, 8:52. Steve and Liz. It was Steve and Liz that said it's a good thing they did that. Got to see Olivia Newton-John for $150. Share for $250, but was upgraded 2 times to front row seats. Met with the boss office manager at the Coliseum. Told him I traveled from Guam just to see Cher, says Clinique Kent, and they upgraded him to go see Cher in the front rows. Good for you.
Cher.
Absolutely good for you. Now, but my point is that there are people running around here talking about how tough it is. Making ends meet, got to break into houses and through the air conditioning duct, or I got to go and drill through cars to get the gasoline out because times are tough. And then they show up at $500 black tie events with hotties that they picked up in the parking lot. I just don't know. What's that? Just when they criticize the so-called colonizer, but they are dependent on defending this island, depending on federal monies to offset the budget shortfalls, depending on federal monies to help recover from all kinds of disaster.
Who said that?
Steve and Liz.
Oh, my God, Steve. I'm going.
Hospital beds are more comfortable than jail beds. Heard that from my cousin.
It's Friday, dude.
Says Chris Frank.
You're angry.
I know it.
We understand.
8:54. So, as I said, moving into the small talk portion of the show, a whole lot faster than normal these days. The only other big story, as I remarked a little bit earlier, is the grand opening of the second Jollibee location. It is in the lot that held, as you know, the old Shirley's and the old Sizzler location from back in the day. And I got great memories of both of those locations, and hope that I'll have some great memories of hitting Jollibee just as soon as things calm down. And I don't think it's going to be like crazy going nuts when what was the last time we opened up a fast food place that we didn't have for a long time? Was it Olive Garden? where you just couldn't get in.
Couldn't get in. Olive Garden was pretty tough.
Red Lobster, that was tough for a couple of days.
Yeah, for a while.
Yeah, dude, I don't know if it's. Are we still like that? I guess when they opened up the Jollibee up at Micro Mall, I think they were certainly very, very busy for that one.
It's still crowded.
And it's still, it will still crowd up in
go there,
that
man,
area.
because it's packed all the time.
Yeah.
It's Daddy Dough, bro.
I remember like Wendy's, when Wendy's first opened at Gibson's once upon a time.
Yeah.
There was, it was out the door and around the side for people that wanted to go in there.
Yeah, they had fried chicken
and check out. Yes, that was that old, when they had the fried chicken and baked potatoes over at Wendy's. It feels like a whole lifetime ago. Oh my God. Anyway, so Jollibee's, and the great thing is you can go to Jollibee now in Agana and eat some food. Then you rest your stomach, and then you can go swim at the Agana swimming pool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. They're working
because it's running.
Yeah, they're working through that magic. Now would be a good time for Ray Gibson to go through the countdowns and the count-ups. It is now 1,613 days since the Agana swimming pool was temporarily closed. For renovation, just a little bit of work. Yeah, 1,613. That's
long.
Almost 2,000 days, Joe. And the other count-up that I started this week, because I want to be the guy that keeps track of all of this, mostly because I'm pissed off because DPW doesn't bother returning our calls on important things like what's going on with that intersection. We've got to figure it out for ourselves.
Man.
People have got to figure it out for yourself, and the police have to give you updates on what's going on there, because nobody at DPW can be bothered to pick up the phone and write a press release that says on the evening of there was a terrible accident, a car hit the thing.
We want the name of the guy.
I want the name of the guy. Who was it?
Who did it, man?
Was that a hit and run? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe they're embarrassed because it's a hit and run.
Okay.
Or maybe the light wasn't working before that, and that's why the guy hit it. I don't know. But you can't get anybody to respond to the media on what happened and how long it's going to take them to get it fixed. And there's, if you don't want to tell anybody, then tell Adelup and give Crystal Paco San Augustine something to do. It's Crystal Paco. Instead of doing this poor woman, she's got to be tired of doing press releases on press conferences over in the big room over at Adelup, because that's about the only action that's been coming out of this administration for a while is press conference this, and we got a signing of that, and an appointment of so and so and such, as opposed to other government deals. This is something people actually need to know about. What happened, what's broken, and how long will it take to repair? And if it's not a question of reparation, did we get an engineer to sign the death certificate on the signaling system so that we can get a new one? And oh, by the way, how long does it take to get a new one? Is this something that is it shelf technology? Can we go?
Man's procurement rate takes time.
To where we get all of these lights and get another one? Is there one
supply chain?
Right. You can buy it. You know what? I bought a computer off eBay yesterday. I put the nick on the credit card yesterday. I don't know, 11 o'clock. And I got a note early this morning. It's already on the way. So is it possible that signal thing, the command center, is something like a computer that you can just call and say, all right, this is what we need. This is how many lights it's got to control. And these are the options that we like. And can we get this in stainless steel? I want it to look like my refrigerator at home. Can we get that? Okay, great. And put it on an airplane because we need it lickety-split. Is that something that can happen, or is it something that the guy has got to start building once we make an order? I can't imagine it's like that. And I can't imagine in this day and age that it's something that might take a whole long time to get from point A to point B. But as you say, procurement. Oh, but we can sole source it. You know what we can use? We get Les Carlson to bless this. We'll have him bless it over. Les will bless this, and we'll use
bless it, Les.
What's his name money? We'll use the ARP money.
Yeah,
we got millions of that, $200+ million.
It's just sitting there getting moldy.
We'll take the money that we were going to use to fix the Agana swimming pool and use it to fix this instead. It can be done, ladies and gentlemen. All right, look, closing in on 9 o'clock in the morning as we make our way into the last hour of the Ray Gibson Show. Real Joe's going to do the best he can as producer to find ways to make it more interesting than the last 5 minutes.
We got a medical conference coming up not this weekend.
Thank God. All right, well, we'll talk about that with the people involved in the medical conference as the program continues. In the meantime, if you're a member of the Gutierrez family and one of your uncles or your brother or your dad almost died from choking on the road on Route 3 but was saved by a Red Horse guy at Anderson Air Force Base, please make contact with us or the 36th Wing Commander. He's online on Facebook. Identify yourself because we'd like you to be a part of the celebration and the award ceremony that's going to be taking place. It's 9. Here's the news.
To speak directly to American public. In this instance, there'll be millions of Americans watching. He takes that opportunity very seriously.
White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, Trump campaign spokesperson Caroline Leavitt on what topics should be covered.
We hope that they will focus on inflation and immigration because poll after poll shows us that both of those issues are the number 1 and 2 issues in this country right now.
Tune in to Fox News Democracy 24 special coverage of the CNN presidential debate simulcast tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. Oklahoma State Superintendent says public schools must teach the Bible.
Superintendent Ryan Walters posted this in a video to X.
The Bible is a necessary historical document to teach our kids about the history of this country, to have a complete understanding of Western civilization, to have an understanding of the basis of our legal system,
as well as the Constitution. The CEO of Americans United for Separation of Church and State said this is Christian nationalism. The Oklahoma Education Association said teaching the Bible as history is permissible, but teaching religious doctrine is not. The superintendent's decision comes 2 days after the state Supreme Court ruled that the first publicly funded religious charter school is unconstitutional.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. A grand jury investigating the police response to a shooting at an elementary school in Uvalde, Texas in 2022 that killed 19 children and 2 teachers has indicted 2 people who were in law enforcement at the time of the shooting. The officers, who were not identified, face charges of injury to a child by omission. The officers face up to 2 years behind bars, a $10,000 fine if convicted on the state jail felony charges. The indictment's coming after a 6-month grand jury investigation that included months of testimony. America is listening to Fox News.
This summer, don't miss out on a hot opportunity. Save big when you upgrade to Docomo Pacific's Business Unlimited Max. Say goodbye to hefty fees and enjoy free roaming in the U.S., Japan, South Korea, and the Philippines. But that's not all. From now until August 31st, save up to $20 a month on payments. A whopping $600 in overall savings. Plus, receive $150 towards mobile accessories. Some conditions apply. Call 688-2677 to upgrade and maximize your benefits this summer.
From now until July 31st, Lotte Hotel is offering a 20% local discount on dinner every Tuesday and Thursday through Sunday. That's 20% off a buffet that includes steak, lobster, snow crab, free-flowing Bud Draft on tap, and a performance by the Nativo Dance Group. A special magic show is scheduled for June 21st and 28th. Book your dinner buffet at the Lotte Hotel at 646-6811. Bud Light reminds you to enjoy responsibly.
2 candidates have dropped out of the race to become Iran's next president.
4 men remain in the battle to become president of Iran. 2 leading candidates are hardliners, former nuclear negotiator Saeed Jalili and parliamentary speaker Mohammed Bagher Kalibaf. Hoping those 2 split the vote is reformist Masoud Pezeshkian. He's an ex-cardiac surgeon who'd like to restore the nuclear deal the US withdrew from under former President Trump. And the United States is a dominant theme in this contest. Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei warning voters against candidates who think all ways to progress pass through America. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
The Justice Department has charged nearly 200 people in a sweeping nationwide crackdown on health care fraud, with false claims topping $2.7 billion. Attorney General Merrick Garland announced charges against doctors, nurse practitioners, and others accused of a variety of scams, including a $900 million scheme in Arizona targeting dying patients. NASA selects SpaceX to help bring down the International Space Station when it's decommissioned in the near future.
Elon Musk's SpaceX will now be NASA's contract partner for the deorbiting of the International Space Station. The ISS's operational life is expected to end in the year 2030. And SpaceX will provide the rocket crafts that will remove it from its place circling the planet and force it to crash land in the South Pacific in 2031. The contract for SpaceX is worth more than $840 million. The space station has hosted a continual human presence in orbit since November of 2000.
Fox's Evan Brown. Wall Street, the major indexes saw modest gains. The Dow added 36, the Nasdaq up 53, the S&P up 4 points. I'm Lisa Lacera, and this is Fox News.
You know, life shouldn't be this hard for those who live here. That's why I have a vision for lower prices on airfare, more affordable housing, better health care, and moving veteran services from Hawaii to Guam. I will cut through the red tape and get Guam a role in the economic expansion in the Asian Pacific. With more federal support for infrastructure, a 100% screen to stop illegal drugs, and new high-paying jobs, we can turn Guam's unique position into lasting prosperity. I'm Ginger Cruz. I approve this ad, and I humbly ask for your vote.
Guam Regional Medical City, the island's leader in specialty services, now provides Guam's only rheumatology care. GRMC welcomes Dr. Jirapat Tirakanok, a double board-certified rheumatologist who specializes in the care of rheumatoid arthritis, gout, lupus, osteoporosis, and more. Take the next step towards relief. Call GRMC's referral office at 671-633-GRMC. That's 671-633-4762.
Hey, this is the Ray Gibson Show being brought to you by NissanGuam.com on the World Wide Web. So many people agreeing with me, and this has never been a better time to buy a car. You could do the test drive. You could do the research and the test drive here this morning. Brand new car in your garage for the weekend. It's doable, and nobody does it better than NissanGuam.com. Go there, take a look at the SUVs, the sedans, big trucks, little trucks, whatever you need. Maybe something utility for the office, or maybe something just got fun written all over it, like the kicks. Get it and then test drive it, and then start working the deal. Now, they've got most of the deal done. They already know what the discount's going to be. It's going to be $10,000, and they already know what the interest rate special is going to be. That's going to be 4.99%. So all you got to do is pick out colors and options. And there are not a lot of options either. There's a ton of standard stuff. But yeah, you'll find a couple of things that'll tickle your funny bone at NissanGuam.com.
Any speaker, anytime. The Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
Meme machine on fire here this morning, getting a ton of stuff related to the debates, including this one written down on a napkin. 2024 presidential ballot, and pick one. Do you want to cast a vote for the nursing home patient or for the felon? Those apparently are options now. So that's the way that's going to work, huh? A couple of things. I'm expecting some guests in the studio between now and 10 o'clock, folks, to talk about these. Excuse me. Wait, okay, now I got to explain it. You heard me swallow a burp, right?
Yeah, what was it, man?
Wingzings from Mosa.
Nice.
And a little bit of, what is that? This spinach.
What did you have, man?
Fettuccine with shrimp. So that's
God, that sounds
I know,
good,
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Why aren't they having the debate party there? I'll be at venue in about an hour and 20 minutes. That's my plan. My weekend is going to get kicked off with the debate taking place at 10:30 is when they open the door. $10 gets you in, and then we've got Michelob on tap. We got a bunch of big screens, little screens, big sound system. So from wherever it is that you happen to be, you shouldn't have a problem listening to the debate on the stage there. You want something different? Maybe you're up north and you don't feel like driving all the way down. Point the car towards Anderson and go to the VFW. They will have a debate watching party there about the same time. They got kitchen stuff. So what did Shawnee say? They got chili dogs?
Chili dogs.
For the deal. And I'm serious.
Yeah.
You know,
I
I
love
think
chili
you should
dogs.
just stay there. Stay there all day. Be there for the debate and just stay there for the rest of the day. And then at 7 o'clock, they have the Queen of Hearts drawing. And maybe you could win almost $3,000. And they didn't get a winner last week, so the money just keeps piling up. And then make plans to hang out with the guys on the 4th of July. APL, that's American President Lines, is going to be conducting a... Oh, right on. Thank you very much. My bro, got a buddy meeting me at venue.
Yeah.
He, likewise, has a red shirt.
Oh, Senator Will.
No, it's not him. No,
Parkinson.
a different
No,
buddy.
he texted me asking me where you were going to be.
Did he?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He's going to come hang out with you, bro.
This feels like when I was a little boy. I'd always call my best friend Rudy. Yeah, it's Rudy Duenas was my best friend, and I'd always call him up asking if he was going to school today, and if he said yes, I said okay, I'll go. And if he said no, I said, well, what about your cousin Joanne? Is Joanne going? And if Joanne's going, yeah.
Joanne's cute.
Yes. We were supposed to get married. Everybody said
man.
Raymond and
You
Joanne
guys
are
are
going to
meant
get
for each
married.
other.
Nobody told Joanne. But anyway.
Joanne never knew.
So, and on days when he wasn't there, they were the worst days of my life. Isn't it great to have a buddy that you can hang out with? It's like one of those things. I don't know. I'll go to the debate watching party. If you go to the debate watching party, you go to the debate watching. I'll go. Are you going to wear red? I'll wear red too. Oh yeah, we're going to twin. We're going to totally twin at the thing.
What's outfits on the bed? Lay them out.
Yeah,
we'll try them on.
Which red shirt am I wearing? Anyway, 9/11 in the morning. That's the big deal that's going on. If you're near the internet, those of you that are watching and playing online, if you're near the internet, do me a favor, and I'm going to try not to be pushy about this, but I want to have two things happen. One of them is I want us to be Pika's best radio station for the 4th time. We've made a lot of investments in time and technology. So we are, any speaker anytime, any screen anytime, that kind of thing. We got gizmos and technology where I can write down something and it shows up on your radio in the car. Depending on, you got a new car, it's probably got this RDS feature. On my other 2 radio stations, it'll tell you, the weather. It'll tell you what song is playing, what the latest promotion the radio station is doing, blurs from advertisers, stuff like that. I mean, it's fun. It makes being in radio that much more fun. Anyway, so we put those kinds of things in there and do our best to give you great programs on the radio, whether they're homegrown like this one or Tall Tales, or whether they're the biggest radio shows coming out of the United States of America. And I'm not going to say Dan Bongino.
Oh, Dan.
But yeah, I got an email today.
Dan, dude, that guy's cool.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, talk radio has changed over the years. Once upon a time, all you needed to do was run coast to coast, and Jim Bohannon and what's his name? He's a big fat guy, Rush Limbaugh. Yeah. But
How
Rush
could you
is
forget,
gone.
Ray?
Bohannon's
that guy's
gone.
a dude, man.
Yeah, I know.
Big fat guy.
I know. Just so much has changed in the talk radio business. And people that retire or just plain die, and so we try to keep up with all of that. And there are some interesting new voices that are popping in. So it's not like I'm asking you for something I don't think we've earned. For Pika's Best. And as far as best radio personality is concerned, it's not just me. There's a whole kind of ensemble that we do here at the radio station. I'm blessed that we resonate. We hit this magical union like a good orchestra does from time to time, and that makes it so it's a whole lot easier for me to do this job. Talking to you for basically 4 hours a day. So yeah, I'd like to be Pika's best radio personality for 2 years running. And Pika's best radio station for 4 years running. Please go to the Guam PDN and check out their website. Look for
I really hope you guys do it again, man.
Yeah, we get the nominations in, and then we'll see what happens with the running. Also, I want you to help out as many of our advertisers as possible. They like to think that there's a connection that is made stronger because of all of the words that we exchange here on the radio station. So GuamPDN.com, and that one last thing. One more, indulge me this, GuamTime.net on the World Wide Web. And you go there, and that's where you're going to get information on the Choice Broadcasting Throwback Part 2. Now, normally, we don't make a whole big deal about Choice Broadcasting. It's more of a corporate thing. But, as far as umbrella organizations for Star 101, Boss 104, and 93.3 The Point. This is all three stations, all hands on deck. This is a great party, and we're going to love throwing it. They're just adding more to it every day. $20 plus taxes and fees will get you a QR code that will get you inside. You want VIP treatment? Reach out to the Zoe people. And it's possible that all of their VIP tables and things like that may have already been snatched up by a bunch of other people that have gotten in there before. But you never know. You never know. See what happens. But anyway, throwback at guamtime.net. On the World Wide Web. Sign up for that and grab a couple of tickets. And we'll look forward to seeing you party out the night. And I don't know if you saw any videos or whatever of me goofing off at the party last week, but I was partying like it was 1984. I was partying like it was Friday night over at Captain's Table. Right, Danny, on spinning actual vinyl, and when we weren't spinning the actual vinyl, we were watching music videos up on the big screen. And if it wasn't at Captain's, maybe it was at Reef, maybe it was at 10-4, maybe it was at Lights, maybe it was at Fernando's. We're going to tell all of the great music from all those great eras are going to be represented, and we want to make sure that you and your crew are represented as well. 9:15 in the morning. All right, one of the other things that we've got coming up this week, I was about to read a story that, I don't know, I looked at it and said, this can't be correct. This cannot be true. Your post-exercise beer is messing up your body.
Here we go.
What the hell?
All right. Sorry, bro.
Yeah,
But you drinking the low-calorie beer, dude?
No. No, my post-workout beers are at Carabao.
Oh.
Yeah, there's nothing low-cal about any of that stuff.
Sorry about that.
No.
My bad.
All right, well, I'll tell you the story in a couple of minutes. We got doctors coming in, right?
Doctors.
All right, we'll get everything set up, and we'll take a quick break and come back and start talking about a couple of opportunities for you to participate in two free medical outreaches. They're happening simultaneously, one in Agana Heights, one in Dedido, and we got details coming your way in just a sec.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they will continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that summer vacation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $4,100 by calling Family Finance in Hagåtña at 671-475-4545 or in Dedido 671-633-4473.
From now until July 31st, Lotte Hotel is offering a 20% local discount on dinner every Tuesday and Thursday through Sunday. That's 20% off a buffet that includes steak, lobster, snow crab, free-flowing Bud Draft on tap, and a performance by the Nativo Dance Group. A special magic show is scheduled for June 21st and 28th. Book your dinner buffet at the Lotte Hotel at 646-6811. Bud Light reminds you to enjoy responsibly.
Whoever said no risk, no reward has never been sued. Hi, I'm Dave Silva from AB Risk Solutions, and our job for over 70 years has been to help businesses just like yours manage risk. Manage risk? We will never be able to totally eliminate the myriad of risks every business faces, but we can help you manage them and recover when disaster strikes. From mom and pop operations to high-rise hotels, we're the experts businesses have counted on for many years. Call me today at 777-2668 for a free risk review and consultation.
AB Risk Solutions, formerly known as Aon.
Now we're on. So a red light means we're on. It wasn't that long that you were doing the radio thing, and so I'm going to have a good time welcoming you back to it. What have I got here? I get a note from Real Joe, and it's forwarded from Carmen Kasperbauer, and I said, wait, hold on a second. And all of a sudden, I couldn't remember whether it was who I was thinking of was Carmen Kasperbauer or Karen Kasperbauer. But I'm delighted in either direction. Carmen, it's always great to have you in the studio.
Thank you. Good morning, Ray.
It's been a long time. What you been up to?
You know what? I'm just working with as many community outreach programs as I can, both locally and then also regionally. So it just keeps me really busy. And then you know that my husband and I have been in tourism for a long time, and you know what's happening with tourism. And so we're just trying our best.
Yeah, it's 160.7 yen to the dollar today, and that makes it a little bit difficult for men and women out in our main source market, Japan, to come to Guam. But you still got one of the best beaches on Guam.
Thank you.
Over by the Alupang place, and it doesn't make any difference to me me if I'm not seeing jet skis or anything like that, because I know that you guys are plumbing away at all of this stuff. I'm going back in time. There was Carmen Kessbauer, beauty queen from back in the day. What? Yes, we're doing it. Yes, I did. Beauty queen from back in the day, beauty pageants. And every beauty pageant there is on Guam, you know, you got the MC and he's in a suit, and there's the lady in a beautiful evening gown, and they're like, well, what would you like to do with your life? And the answer perennially is always, I'd like to work with people, be a social worker, that kind of thing. But you're actually doing what you said you were going to do. You're actually out and you're working with people in the community and trying to make connections between healthcare providers and people that need their work.
You're not lying.
No.
So you're telling the truth. He's a man of his word. He's a man of truth. But you know what? We're not here for that.
No.
We're not here for that.
There's 20 after. It's 20.
Okay.
We got. I'm not leaving anywhere until 10. So we got plenty of time. Do you still have a copy of you dancing at Fiesta Villa?
Oh my word, Ray! Seriously, I'm trying to think. How can I redirect this discussion to Doctors Thorpe and Tan here?
I don't know.
That's where the story is.
Sorry.
I love this man, but we have no.
Sorry,
I should have stayed
not
outside.
sorry.
I walked right into this.
Let's see if I can. Okay. I got. We just need to turn on the other cameras, Real Joe, the other microphones, so I can bring everybody else into the conversation. We got them on. All right. So at some point, something will change, and I'll get all three of us on the screen. You drive, Real Joe, and let me make introductions. I got one fellow who's not on the screen now. He is now, and we'll begin with Jonathan Thorpe.
That's correct.
Okay, I got the name right.
Yes.
I already asked the question if he's related to the Olympic great Jim Thorpe, and the answer was unfortunately no, which is a disappointment. From now on, always answer it yes.
Yes. I'm related. Thanks for the honorary connection.
Yes. Now I got another. I can get that picture on Clark. And so the other fella is in the studio is Laren Tan, and let me see. Jonathan is an internist, like I know what that is, and Laren Tan is a pulmonologist. And I said, oh, you're heart and blood guy, like that's exactly what it was, and he was very polite and says, no, actually lungs, actually more of a lung guy, but I'm glad that you're here. Where are you guys normally stationed at?
So I am the medical director and an internal medicine specialist at the Guam Seventh-day Adventist Clinic here on Epal Road.
Yeah.
And I've had the privilege of being a transplant to Guam for the last 3.5, 4 years. I never thought I'd live here in Guam. I
never thought they'd be done with the
British
construction.
Columbia, Canada, and a farm kid from there, and here I am as a physician working in Guam. It's the last place on earth I thought I'd live, but
wow,
all roads lead to Guam apparently.
I've spent some time in Canada and have found that they are the most polite people I've ever run into in my life.
Well, thank you.
Was up around Chilliwack a few years ago and absolutely loved it.
My parents live near there now.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? The Tri-City area they call it?
Yes.
It was one of the recollections that I had, and I remember because I was going up there. I was meeting up with some radio guys. I was going to buy some radio equipment, and the company I was going to buy it from says, well, you're going to be in Washington State anyway. Why don't you drive up to Chilliwack? There's a radio station group we work with. And I said, okay. And so I got the instructions in the map all say something about the Tri-City area. And there's this, in Canada, you have a different word for city than I imagine we do in the United States of America. So I don't think I saw anything any taller than a church rooftop that any more than 2 stories tall as the entire time I was driving.
There's only 30-something million people in the largest land mass of the world. So it's like we're few and far between. There's more deer, elk, and moose around than people. So
but I drove through a place and there were signs that there's snakes here, and I'm going, they must have a big snake problem if they put signs up. Venomous snakes and that.
Yeah,
but again,
rattlesnakes.
among the nicest people I'd ever seen. I'd actually lost my way and pulled into a gas station, and you've seen the bit. I'm sure everybody's seen a bit like this where I just need to get to over here, and then all of a sudden 17 guys are opening up maps on the counter of the gas station saying, you want to take this, and here comes another guy says, no, I'm a trucker, you want to do this because there's going to be traffic. It was absolutely the greatest experience of my life in that part of the world, and I'm dying to get back. I'm still a fan of Victoria. I try to get to Victoria if I'm in that area, I'm going to be in Victoria for just a little bit because you get to spend cool money too when you're up there. But
colorful money.
I was gonna I was gonna give him a hard time about the food in Canada, but we don't have that. The show's not that long, and he knows what I'm talking about. Shepherd's pie, by the way. 9:24. Laren Tan. Now, what brought you to Guam?
So I'm actually from California.
Mm-hmm.
We flew 9 physicians over from California. We're at Loma University. We've partnered together very closely with Guam SDA Clinic, And the reason why we're coming over to Guam is because it's part of our, as a department, we wanted to have more of a global outreach.
Okay.
And what better way to be able to do so but to reach out through the medical science part of things, but also see what the needs are with our surrounding areas. Where can we go and how can we actually help? And so Guam was one of our top on the list.
Well, and obviously the connection with Seventh Day, you already have a very good base of operation here on Guam, and I think we already kind of have an understanding of what some of those physical dilemmas are going to be for a number of patients brought on by the usual suspects: lousy diet, lousy exercise, and maybe in some cases, limited access to the kind of healthcare therapies that might be available someplace else, like in British Columbia, like the United States. So an opportunity now to get together with everybody. We'll move from there into something I had up on the screen earlier. There are going to be 2 outreaches simultaneously, and this is kind of interesting to me. So one in Agana Heights and one in Dededo.
Correct.
Will they be the same kind of outreach? No. Okay. Well,
same outreach, different speakers.
Okay. Okay.
It's the same format. Yeah.
Same format.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with the one I've got up on screen. Agana Heights right now. This one will start at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and go until 4. Correct. Will you be seeing patients, or will patients be seeing you?
We're actually taking it to the next level. Most of the time we go out and do the screenings, which is all good. I mean, screenings are great. Yeah. But we're actually going to have this 2-hour opportunity for a conversation with doctors. I mean, here you come to the clinic, you might get, 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes, maybe 30 if you're lucky at a clinic appointment. But just imagine you're in the room with a whole team, and it's an open format. So it's going to be, the format's going to be a brief introduction. Every specialist will share a little bit about who they are, where they came from, their area of expertise. And then one of us as moderators is going to open it up and take questions from the community as to, hey, what can we do to treat, prevent, and reverse our chronic illnesses?
Wow.
And so it's going to be mainly a lifestyle-focused discussion in different specialty areas. So I'm really fortunate because Dr. Tan's a lung doctor, a pulmonary doctor, not a heart doctor, pulmonary doctor.
No, it's okay.
And so we got the lung doctor. We've got pretty much head to toe covered here, Ray. So we got the mental health, or brain health, super, super important. The pulmonary doc, the lung area of the body. We have a gastroenterologist, a stomach liver doctor who's coming to talk about liver health and stomach health. Kidney doctor. What do we do to keep the beans healthy?
Yeah,
The kidneys are shaped like a bean, so we nicknamed them the beans.
I just try to drink a lot of water.
There you go. That's a good first step. That's a good first step.
They tell me it's a thing that you need to do.
And we have a rheumatologist coming. So rheumatologist is someone who deals with connective tissues. So like the joints and the tissues surrounding the joints. A lot of arthritis or painful joints, creaky joints are going to be there too. So we've got an endocrinologist, an internist with a focus on endocrinology and diabetes specifically. And then also talking about, really holistic health, including the layers of health. So acute problems are due to chronic problems, which are due to. And there's about 6 different layers. I don't want to spoil it all.
No. So a little family background. My mother suffered from fibromyalgia.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But you understand all of the different pressures, and so we've got an issue here, and unfortunately that messes with the sleep schedule. That messes with the diet.
Right.
All of a sudden, things that she used to enjoy doing, she's just never had the energy to be able to get up and do, and you never knew which part of the body was going to be afflicted with today's dosage of pain and what medications you'd eventually need to take care of it. So all of those things that you're talking about, I get the idea where one thing can cascade into a whole series of other problems. Not also withstanding the fact that we've all just been through the coronavirus, and I've got to imagine as the lung guy that there are still things that you saw before COVID, and then with people coming up with COVID, presenting with COVID, and then lingering issues with their breathing. I think I might have that an issue related to my short bout with COVID.
Right, we're seeing that quite frequently. There are still a lot of residual symptoms that some continue to suffer, but it's actually uncovered a lot of different things that we never even knew about that they may have had before getting the coronavirus.
Oh, that is interesting.
Yeah, like for example, some may have actually been smokers for many years before, and then got coronavirus, decided to follow up, and then we found out, hey, there was actually another underlying disease such as chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD. that was undiagnosed this whole time and just didn't come to awareness until they got coronavirus. So,
I'm in denial of COPD. I actually got my physical last year, and they put me in, it looked like a phone booth or something like that, and they had me do this breathing test. And the guy, when it was done, I thought he was disappointed in the results because I wasn't really following his instructions very well. We had to do things several times. But then when it was all done, there was a prescription for some kind of an inhaler, and I said, "You got to be kidding." He said, "Well," he said, "First of all, you were a 2-pack-a-day smoker for 30 years. I quit many years ago."
Congratulations.
He said, you've got these lung smoking years that need to be accounted for, so you could be a candidate down the road for COPD. And I said, "But I'm a marathon runner." And then he says, "Well, that's great, but maybe if you take this, it will be easier for you to be able to breathe because you do have issues that he said were maybe the onsets of COPD."
And what we find is that even with aging, sometimes the springs that keep the airways open aren't working as well, and so it narrows, and so now you have that obstruction. And I love the fact that you're a marathon runner because the lungs are strong, and that you were never really, I'd say, inhibited perhaps to finish your marathon. Right?
I was just running slower than normal because I felt like my VO2 max or something wasn't through the roof like it was supposed to.
And isn't that interesting? It's like the body is just so in tune to be able to adapt to a lot of various different things. But sometimes the inhaler can be helpful, but we say, sometimes if you don't need it, well, then it's okay.
Bro, it's cheating. That's cheating. If you use an inhaler before a race, you're a cheater.
No. Can I just jump in here? Because I think since we're talking about inhalers, just from a health perspective, a health awareness, there's inhalers that some of these really sick COPD patients do need to be taking, and they need to take on a regular basis. So let's, if you don't mind, take a detour here. Yeah. Let's talk about inhaler consistency. Like there's the rescue inhalers like albuterol, but then you have other common therapies like Trelegy, for example, a new therapy that's an amazing drug combination that really helps people. When do people need to take it?
And it goes back to the core of the disease state. Like, for example, someone who was smoking for let's say a couple of years, stopped running marathons, not really not having any complaints whatsoever of any breathing problems. I don't know. I know that others may have varying viewpoints, but I am of one where if you don't need the medicine, well, don't take it. Yeah. Like, don't put something foreign in your body if you don't actually need it. Now, it's good to have it as a rescue, please, by all means, but that's a key component. Now, there are the other side where there's chronic inflammation going on. There's a lot of irritation in the airways, and you need something to help calm that inflammation down. Yeah. That is when we get into, like, your Trelegy, which very much sounds like Trinity, doesn't it? Where you have an inhaled steroid to calm the inflammation down, and you've got 2 other medications in there to open up the airways so that this way air can actually go out.
9:32. Now, what you might be thinking is Ray Gibson's getting a free drive-by consult here, but what I think I'm trying to underscore through my line of questioning is this feels very much like the format that you're going to be going over as you're in the villages of Vagania Heights and Dededo. Somebody will stand up and say, "Hey, I've got this. What can you tell me about this?"
And
peel back the layers on that onion.
And we're going to peel back layers here. This is what we're going to get to, because when acute problems are due to chronic problems, which are due to lifestyle problems. And so we're going to be focusing a lot on what we call lifestyle medicine. Lifestyle medicine, there's 6 key pillars to that. So nutrition, 1. Physical activity, 2. Avoiding harmful substances like tobacco, alcohol, drugs, and everything else.
It's always alcohol. You notice that?
Stress management and the connection that we have with others. And we are all, to some extent, spiritual. I'm not talking religious. I don't want to get into that topic today, but to some extent, there's a spiritual connection that we each have, and there's a spiritual health that we need to look at too.
Agreed.
And then there's the importance for adequate, good quality sleep. And when you look at those 6 key pillars, we can use those tools to prevent, to treat, and more importantly, to reverse chronic illness. It's super exciting. I mean, here, Ray, COPD, a good example, but let's talk about heart disease. I mean, the number of patients coming into my clinic on a weekly basis with heart disease is astounding. I mean, it's sad to say almost everyone has it.
It's not surprising.
And bypasses, stents, left, right, and center. Lifestyle heart trial, big, huge study by Dr. Dean Ornish out of UCSF. Published in The Lancet. I mean, we're talking leading foremost medical journal in the world. This was, 20 years ago. He demonstrated in a small intervention. It was not big because the effect magnitude was so massive. You didn't need to have 10,000 people. He only had, I think it was like 50 or 60 people.
You got my attention.
And this guy, he randomized people with heart disease to 2 categories of treatment. One, the treatment is typical standard American medical care.
Yeah.
Here's your medications, eat the healthy diet, and kind of be dismissed from clinic. That typical 10-minute consultation.
Yeah.
The other group had wraparound support to make lifestyle change. And they were counseled, they had the appropriate tools, and they focused on a whole food plant-based diet. And I'll get to that in a second. A whole food plant-based diet and they had the stress management support, smoking cessation, all that lifestyle piece. And they demonstrated, this is amazing. Now get this. Standard American medical care progressed the disease. So those who had coronary disease, it got worse. It got worse. And they ended up having more stents and more people died in that cohort. But on the flip side, the other group that had the lifestyle intervention focus on it, guess what?
Oh, they had to improve. I mean, you used a magic word in front of me, RAP. I believe in RAP therapies, and because it's not just about the patient and the doctor and the drugs. It is about the patient and the family of the patient, the people that work with the patient. Everybody has to become invested in determining how we're going to help this guy deal with it. You put the entire community around it. You talk about the stress management and things like that. Okay, well, let's go around the room and identify which one of you is the stressors. Which one of you is causing all of this angina here? And we can eliminate that or talk to everybody about being able to communicate better so we're not stressing each other so much.
And coming back to the trial, what was amazing is that when they took coronary angiograms and looked into the arteries, and they measured the diameter of the arteries, the group and the lifestyle intervention had an increase in their radius. Now, you have to remember the flow through an artery is not dependent on the radius, but it's the radius squared. So it's the multiple of radius. And so you had progression of disease with standard American medical therapy and allopathic tradition or approach versus a lifestyle approach to a chronic disease resulted in reversal of it. Less people died, less people got admitted to the hospital, and they feel better. They feel good.
Because we unclogged the drain.
Right, unclogged the drain. And the same doc, Dr. Dean Orange, just here recently, and I just discovered this here a couple days ago, has done the same thing for Alzheimer's.
Oh.
Dementia. So one of the big factors for dementia is the lack of blood flow through the brain.
Yeah.
And just like the heart arteries get clogged up, the brain arteries get clogged up too. And so it's amazing to see that early dementia and mild cognitive impairment was actually reversed with a therapeutic lifestyle intervention. So what I'm getting to, Ray, is that there is a huge opportunity for Chamorros, for Guamanians, to alter the course for future generations. Because it's amazing when you make the change in your household, not only are you changing your health, you're changing maybe your child's health, maybe your grandchild's health. But here's the cool thing.
The impact cascades, as you say. It's like we've got to square the result because there are going to be so many positive sides. Everybody's going to be healthier. There's going to be less stress on everybody. Everybody going to sleep better as well. So these 6, there's a part of me I want to fast forward now to those 6 and how that's going to be prescribed for people. How much is that going to cost? Who's going to pay for all of that? But I imagine we'll learn more about that at the get-togethers over the weekend, right, Carm?
Exactly, you will. And I just wanted to mention, because you were going back into the outreach, I wanted to make sure that I emphasized, Ray, this is not just for adults. We're really encouraging families to come. Do you know, Dr. Thorpe will see patients. You can talk more about this, and they'll be there so that they can be treated, be seen, and be consulted by Dr. Thorpe. But they are going to be talking about their family. They're going to be talking about how their children are having issues and they're worried about that, and those can be stressors. They're not even in the room. And so we really are encouraging people to bring their families out. We're talking about children too, you know. We see that children are under a lot of stress, especially when you hear about like the youngest suicide being 9 years old. Why would a child, do that? And we're seeing it, and we will have a mental health specialist, by the way, in Dedido.
Oh, great.
And so if people have questions, they should. And there are a lot of parents stressing out because they don't know what to do with their children right now. And it could be mental, physiological or what have you, we're just asking them, come on out, talk to the doctors, and if they're mamala, to ask the question in public, you know, and a trick to that is just say, oh, you know, I have an auntie, and, you know, she's dealing. But if it's very personal and it's just really, really emotionally stressful for them, they honestly can maybe talk to a provider after the event. You know, quietly. And so I don't want to say, I shouldn't say, I said that publicly, didn't I?
No,
but I'm just saying,
but it's nice because we're all going to
Carmen,
stand around and here's the leave behind and give me you know what your thoughts are.
I got to be careful that this is a public health outreach event,
Right, it's
and
not
we are
diagnosing.
not we're not diagnosing, treating, managing chronic illness on an individual basis. We're providing general health education. So I don't want to be misconstrued or misunderstood.
misleading anybody,
that you're going to come and get a one-on-one consultation.
Yeah.
Right.
We're happy to have one-on-one conversations, but it's going to be about generic health talks.
So let me steer it back into all of that. So in a couple of hours worth of the presentation, I imagine the first part of it is going to be talking about these 6 things, about these RAP programs, and maybe ways that I can approach that as an individual. And you know, because I'm basically a bachelor, it's me and a cat in a house, and my lifestyle. I think everybody that listens to the broadcast knows exactly what my lifestyle is. I'm here, and then I get a nap in, and then I kill some time in between. It's too late for coffee, but too early for beer, and then I go and find dinner for someplace, and it's, you know, sometimes it's fast food, sometimes it's out of a can, sometimes it's something that somebody else is stirring up for me. I'm not going to say that I've got any great handle on things like diet and exercise. Sleep is a problem, like I think for a lot of people in a certain age. So I'm kind of excited to hear a little bit more about the different stages that you will be talking to potential patients about.
And, you know, what is interesting after I've spent now 3.5 years as now a citizen, I guess, a resident. I guess I bought a house here recently in Guam. Never thought I would, but anyways, I live here now. But when I talk to the Manancos, the older generation, and I understand what was happening 80, 90 years ago, and I ask, well, what about your grandparents? You know, what about 200 years ago? There was no diabetes. There was no amputations other than maybe traumatic amputation. There was no, you know, heart disease and everything else. Why? Well, people were living off the land. They were exercising, getting fresh air, exposure to sunlight, drinking lots of water. So as a culture and a community, we need to change our conversation around our health. And health is not just about taking medications. It's about preventing the illness right from the beginning. And as a community, this is far more than what a doctor or a clinic or even a health system can do. It needs to come back to the communities and say, hey, look, we don't need a prescription. We don't need to pay to see a doctor to be told to focus on these things. But what we can do as health professionals is bring more education to the topic and say, hey, look, yes, a whole food plant-based diet where we recognize the food on our plates. Where the example I use is apples. Yeah, I grew up growing apples. I know this one very well. Apples. It looks like an apple. It tastes like an apple. It feels like an apple. Apple sauce. Well, all of a sudden, who knows what's added in there? Sugar and cinnamon, and who knows what else.
I've become such a skeptic when I'm grocery shopping, and I'm trying to train myself to buy if they're two similar things. I buy the one that has the fewest ingredients.
There we
in
go.
I mean, it's amazing to me that bread in the grocery store has got like 20 different ingredients and it's listed in chemicals I've never heard of since graduating from high school. And I'm going, wait a second, it's bread. It's literally dough and salt and water and maybe an egg, whatever, and to turn it into. Well, if you put an egg, it's cake. But you know the point that I'm trying to get to is there seems to be so much additive, so much that has been processed, and I'll low key brag, and as many issues as I may have at 62 years old, I am there is only one medication that I'm taking on a regular basis, and again, this is from I think a couple of young twitchy doctors in the Philippines who insisted that I eat a metformin every single day. For the most part, it's fish oil. I pop an iron pill, D pill every day, and fish oil and that kind of thing. So I mean, I try to minimize as much as I can any unknown quantities going in my body. I also believe, as I think you do, that the American health industry is exactly that, an industry. And all of a sudden you're popping all these pills that are not necessarily curing you,
They may be even making you sicker.
They
because
might
all
be
the side
making you
effects.
sicker. Yeah. So I'm with you guys all the way. If you want to know more, just show up. These things are going to be taking place over the weekend. One in Agana Heights and another one up in Datado, and they're at the same time. I noticed.
They're simultaneous, and you know what? We understand what you're saying because there were several calls that came in, and people were like, "Is this right? Is it in Agana Heights or is it in Datado?"
Yeah,
they're happening in both places simultaneously. We just have a different panel of providers that will be speaking to the community. So it's really nice because we're just trying to spread out as much as we can and help the community, as much of the community as possible.
Says free all over the thing I'm looking at.
That's
Says
right.
Free delicious wellness food samples, health brochures, opportunities to participate in excellent health healing programs. So we start from here, and where's the follow up? Where do we, if I am totally into this thing, the wellness, the food looks good. It might be something that I might be able to include in my diet. Thanks very much for the pamphlets.
Right.
What do I do next after
That's a really good question. I'm glad you asked for it. So a couple things. One is that from a public awareness perspective, coming up this fall is we're going to be having what's called Build a Better Brain series. And it's really focused on mild cognitive impairment. So these are the symptoms that you experience before developing full-blown dementia. So mild cognitive impairment and early dementia, and what you can do to reverse it. And guess what? It's the same tools that you reverse heart disease, okay? And stuff. So we're going to be having that. I don't know the exact dates yet, but October, November, maybe I can come back with our guests when we come back, and we can share a little bit more specifically about that event that we're going to be holding in the community. And so there's that from a public perspective. And then, at the Guam 7 Hours Clinic, we have undeniably some awesome wellness programs there. And they are covered by local insurances for the most part. So we have some what's called the detox program. And the term detox is not, I can take a holiday from my food for 1 week and then go back to it. No, it's intended to be a transition. It's a transitionary point where you get introduced to this whole concept of a whole food plant-based diet. And then you detox off of your traditional, quotes, American diet, and then make a transition to the whole food plant-based diet, which is what the ancestors of this island used to eat. And so there's the Shape Up program, basic detox, advanced detox. We get people like losing 10, 15 pounds of weight in a week off this. And one local clergyman, 80 pounds. 80 pounds in the last 5 months.
The clergy guys, they're getting fed. Is the problem? Is that you do a wedding or a fiesta for you? Their mom, grandma is sending some food over in your direction. I did want to, you've used the words plant based in front of me.
Let's talk about that.
Okay, so I'm a carnivore. Yeah. So how plant based do I need to be? I mean, I like a burger. I like a steak. I got gear in the house that is designed to make it impossible for me to screw up a steak. So what's I believe in moderation in all things.
So I'm going to throw the question to Dr. Tan.
Okay,
because
Dr. Tan.
Coming back, decades ago, Loma Linda started a big program called the Adventist Health Study. And so talk a little bit more about this whole idea of the whole food plant-based diet, and I can chime in too, but because a lot of it comes from Loma Linda.
Ray, what we found, and I don't know if you're aware, but like Loma Linda is one of the blue zones, right? Where we have found that longevity is extremely long there, and part, I would say, is because of our diet. Part of it, a big part is our religion, a big community together. And what we found is this plant-based or vegetarian diet actually helped us to be able to offset a lot of the common diseases that we're seeing right now. Now, it takes work. It takes time for prep. It does.
Not cheap either.
No, it's not cheap. But there are, and I think Dr. Thorpe's going to be able to share a couple of things and ideas on how we can make it a little bit more affordable, because I think each region is going to be different. But that in itself has made a huge difference. And to answer your question, but one thing I did want to ask really quick, Ray, was on your daily schedule, you said you're a marathon runner, but I didn't hear you about exercise and when you're actually putting in for running.
That depends. That's a tough question. It depends.
Okay.
So there's a 5K tomorrow.
He's a runner.
I've got gym membership. I haven't been running outside in a while because it's so bloody hot. I'm waiting for it to get to be rainy season. But during peak when it's time for to train for an actual marathon or half marathon, I'll try to get in 15, 20 mile weeks. and long days, short days. I'm clearly overweight right now, which is a factor, which is one of the things that's preventing me from getting as much miles in.
I ran my first marathon this year.
Yeah.
About died. I literally about died.
Were you here?
Here in Guam, the Guam Marathon, the 51st one, whatever it's called.
Yeah, if you can run a marathon on Guam, you can run a marathon anywhere.
Man,
but it's not the toughest. It's not the toughest.
Well,
I've run some tough
but
marathons.
my knee went out at mile 3.
Oh.
And I'm like, I am not going to give up because this was my life goal to get it done before my fourth decade of life started. I'm like, I am going to do this. If I have to crawl to the finish line, I will do this.
Yeah.
And so, from mile 3 to mile 26, I literally limped the whole way. It took me a long time, but I did finish the race.
Sure.
And I will go back and do it again next year after I train better.
I'll recommend if you get an opportunity and the prices come down, do Saipans Marathon.
Oh, really?
Hard. Yeah. This is grueling. It is absolutely grueling.
But coming back to this whole food plant-based
if you really want
idea.
pain, Okinawa. Okinawa's got a marathon. There's part of it's a hill for like a mile and a half.
I've heard about this one.
Yeah.
They're never-ending hill.
Nothing pleasant about that at all. But
so coming back to this whole food plant-based thing.
Yeah.
So when I say whole food plant-based, I was going down my applesauce. So apples, applesauce. Who knows what's dumped in the applesauce? Then you go to apple juice. Now, it takes a lot of apples to get a cup of apple juice. I know.
It's all sugar.
Apple
juice
sugar.
is all sugar.
Okay, then you get sweetened apple juice on top of that. It's crazy. They dump more sugar in. So you get that. But then you go to the next step, apple fritter. Now, some people say, I ate my apple for the day because I have my apple fritter. And that is the farthest thing from a whole food plant-based diet. So when I say whole food plant-based, it is when I look at my plate, I can identify whole foods. I can identify the broccoli. I can identify the greens. I can identify the beans. And so, the rule of thumb, half of your plate, vegetables.
Yeah.
Then the other half was split in half. So quarter and quarter grains, and a quarter beans. And you know what? There's more, ounce per ounce.
More protein in beans.
There is.
Yeah.
And there's fiber. You talked about metformin. I don't want to get into your personal health here, but I'm just going to say in general.
Yeah.
By increasing your fiber, your dietary fiber intake, you slow the release of sugar. You end up eating less generally because the fiber makes you filled. And I've seen it. I've helped countless people get off of metformin.
I'm transitioning in Metamucil, which is a lot of fiber in that. The one that I get is Tasty.
There we go.
Which is the other thing.
How about this, Dr. Thorpe? How about many times we're looking at vegetarian likes, right?
Yeah.
Is that considered as what we're saying is plant-based? Because we get you see
a vegetarian
these plant-based burgers, right? And that's
Impossible Whoppers.
Right. Yeah. And they taste really good. I mean, we eat them at our home. The question is, what is the and with all this, it is the general theme. Like, are we eating the highly processed plant-based foods every day of the week? Because then you end up having some of the same problems you do when you eat non-plant-based foods. And I don't want to down non-plant-based foods. I'm giving a healthy alternative. By transitioning to a plant-based diet, we know heart disease reverse. We know diabetes goes in remission. We know cognitive impairment reverses. We know that kidneys get healthy. I've seen number of my patients have reversed their kidney disease. Dr. Jeffrey Ng, our ophthalmologist, has worked with patients and reversed their retinopathy. Now, you're talking about bleeding into the eye and dilated, bad, damaged blood vessels, and come back 6 months later with transition to a complete holistic lifestyle approach to their illness, and the eyes healed itself.
Right.
And there's a lot to this, is what I'm saying.
The eyes, you got the Arcus, which is one of the warning signs generally of other issues that are going on in the body when you've got the Arcus around your eyeball. 9:52. This is one of those things. I wish I had more time, but you actually do. The doctors will be in the house, Ganya Heights and Dededo, and they will go from 2 until 4. The location in Dededo is at the mayor's office. The location up in Aganya Heights is the Aganya Heights Public Gym. So make plans to be there. All of this is free. Everything that we're talking about is free. And then I think the only obligation, the only kind of consideration that you ought to put into this is listen carefully and then let these doctors help you map out those next steps.
Hippocrates 2,000 years ago said, let food be thy medicine. And that's basically one of the takeaways from it. And you asked earlier, why are you doing 2 at the same time? Like, that seems kind of funny. Because we had, first of all, a short period of time when we have 9 specialists coming in from Island. And so we said, rather than putting 9 in one house, let's break it up into 2 different spots, because even though Dr. Tan is a pulmonologist, but he can probably answer a pretty good question about rheumatology also, because we're both of us are trained in internal medicine. We have that basic foundation and stuff. So we've separated out the team. So we have in Dededo we have Dr. Tan for the lungs. We have mental health with nurse practitioner Shion Shiranishi, who's actually a member of our team here in Guam, one of the most talented mental health practitioners I've ever worked with. Dr. Daniel D. Bardelavan is going to be talking about the stages of illness, and then about heartburn, about the stomach specifically with Dr. Chang, and then up over in Agana Heights, going to have Dr. Infante talking about the kidneys, Dr. Chang and Dr. Liu about antibiotics, and then Dr. Robinson, who's been here for decades, worked on Guam for 22 years or something. He's coming back.
Oh, great.
He's landing on island tonight, and he'll be in Agana Heights tomorrow afternoon, and he'll be talking about habits to give out. And then
habits. This is lifestyle stuff we're talking. So you in your description of the plate, though, I think your math was wrong. I think you've got at least one more quarter where you might be able to fit a steak. Or
That's interesting
hamburger.
math.
It's a small plate.
Where's the bacon? Which quarter does the bacon go on?
I'm going to leave you to answer that question. I'm not going down that path.
Well, I don't know. So I'm going to say that for some people, maybe a plant-based, whole food plant-based diet is going to be something that you can gravitate towards. I know I'm a little bit older and set into my ways, and I know what I like.
There's stages of change.
Yes, and if it means that I'm going to have, it will evolve to the point where, okay, I'm not going to eat the bread. I'll just stick with the protein that comes in the hamburger, and then I'll wolf down a salad that comes with that and some of the other things, and maybe explore some of the other vegan opportunities that there are out there, vegetarian opportunities. But sometimes you just got to go slow.
And that's really key, because we call it stages of change, where people you go from this pre-contemplation, like I'm not even thinking about it, to contemplation. Well, I'm thinking about it. You're in the contemplation phase, I can tell right now. And then the next phase is like, well, I'm going to test it out. And you start moving in this action phase where you're going to start making some of the changes. And then maintenance where you sustain it. And then there's the relapse where you kind of start back over. So we know there are stages of change to this process. And what I'm advocating and encouraging this population, this community, is to look back at your ancestors.
Yeah.
Because, again, food prevented the illnesses.
You don't have to go back 200 years. You can go back 80 years. There was a conversation in studies I'm sure that you're familiar with about the thrifty gene and how it is possible that, entire races of people, had this thrifty gene and they ate enough to be able to sustain the work that they needed to do so that they could continue to sustain themselves. This is how we farm. This is how we fish. This is how we hunt. And that was able to provide all of the calories that they needed to, maintain this stasis that they were in. And now all of a sudden I don't need to go and grow my own food and slave away in the sun or go hunting. I can go to the store and get everything I need there. Unfortunately, it's not always good for you what you're buying there. So I can see a desire to get to move backwards. And one other note, when we start talking about proteins that we can hunt and then eat, there's something to be said about the quality of the food that comes from your own backyard, the boonies behind your house, feral pigs, feral deer, that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Crazy tasty.
And the other thing is that in that example of the exercise it takes to go catch a game also. So I want to be clear. I'm being intend to be very respectful in everyone's own personal wishes, and I'm just sharing that there's an alternative to prevent, treat, and reverse chronic illness.
Dying 2 to 4, Agana Heights and Dededo.
I hope to see you there.
Everything is free. I'm going to get the video. That's what I'm going to watch the video when it's all done. 9:57 and change. Docs, thank you very much for coming, and thanks very much for coming to Guam. I appreciate it. I wish somebody told you didn't need to wear a jacket in here.
Okay.
But Carm's got one as well. Nice to see you. And tell Steve that one of these days I'm going to come over and get that record player from him.
Got it.
Right?
Yes.
He's been after me to help remove some stuff from the house. He's going to do something else with a man cave down the road. Is it almost time? A couple of minutes away from the top of the hour. Real Joe, do I have a break here that I can exploit? Let's do that. And I may or may not come back depending on how long the break's going to be. We'll see.
Experience the magic of the Super American Circus with Circle K. Spend $25 at any Circle K and receive a free adult ticket. Or make any purchase and show your My Rewards ID at checkout for a free child ticket. Don't miss the chance to experience the Super American Circus at PIC. Grab your free tickets at your favorite Circle K. Promotion is valid until August 31st, 2024. Fuel purchases are not included. Other conditions may apply. Visit 76circlekguam.com for more info.
From now until July 31st, Lotte Hotel is offering a 20% local discount on dinner every Tuesday and Thursday through Sunday. That's 20% off a buffet that includes steak, lobster, snow crab, free-flowing Bud Draft on tap, and a performance by the Nativo Dance Group. A special magic show is scheduled for June 21st and 28th. Book your dinner buffet at the Lotte Hotel at 646-6811. Bud Light reminds you to enjoy responsibly.
What have I got? 60 seconds between now and the Fox News Live. That's enough time to remind you about getting your tickets to Throwback number 2 at Club Zoo on the 13th of July. You can find those at guamtime.net. Hit up PDN and go to the contest section and make sure that you nominate The Point as Guam's Pika's Best radio station and me as Pika's Best radio personality. And then there was one other thing. Oh, yeah, I'll see you at the debate. I'm going to go from here, microphone, into the driver's seat of the car, drive over to venue, and get things started. I'm wearing red, representing the guy that's going to make America great again, versus Sleepy Joe Biden. We'll see what happens when the dust is all settled. For Real Joe, Donna D, Jerry Roberts, and pretty soon Norman Analista. My name is Ray Gibson, saying thanks so much for being a part of the broadcast this week. Thank you, Julian Assange, for making that much more interesting as well. Here it comes, Fox News on The Point.
Just 1 hour to go. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. President Biden and former President Trump set to square off in the CNN presidential debate.
This is the first time these two men have been together on the same stage in 4 years. And there are new rules this time around. No audience, and the mics will be cut unless it's that particular candidate's turn to speak. The Trump campaign is urging Trump to stay on the substantive issues, the policies, and stay away from personal attacks. For Biden, there are a lot of people